Welcome to College Football 26. My Dynasty team is going to be the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I think I got that right. Phil Sildena is going to be the head coach leading this team into the future. You see the Chanticleers, won the Sun Belt back in 2020, went to a bowl game in 2021, or at least won a bowl game in 2021, went 9-4 in 2022, 2023 went 8-5, then last year 6-7. So very clear that there's starting to be a drop off from the Chanticleers team. So Phil Sildena has been brought in to right the ship before things get too bad. And hopefully we're going to be able to do that here in this dynasty. If you are happy about this choice, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that other good stuff. Coastal Carolina Dynasty, going to be rocking here on the channel. College Football 26, going to be rocking here on the channel. And yeah, so this was a tough choice to pick. I had so many good teams to pick from, but I kind of waited to kind of see what some of the other, bigger names were going to be doing. And, a lot of people went Texas State and some other teams. So we'll just rock here with Coastal Carolina. I really wanted to run them anyways, but we are going to go with the motivator tree here to start things out. We're going to wait to put some points in, just not right away. I want to be able to fully fill one out. Recruiting, we'll get to that at the end of the episode after our first game. So take a look here at quarterback. Starting quarterback is going to be Roquan Barber. And, Barber, both of these guys, I believe, are just all of these quarterbacks, I believe, are just backfield creators. They look all about the same, but Barber has the best throw power here on the roster at an 89. Short accuracy doesn't look as good. 76, kind of the middle of the road. There are some quarterbacks on here that, maybe look a little bit better. We do have a pocket passer. Some of these guys are just going to transfer out, and we do know the transfer portal. I've watched a few Dynasty rebuilds and streams from other creators. Yeah, the portal hits you. So, I guess I'll mention recruiting here. In terms of the recruiting, we're going to hit it hard, I think. We're going to try to get as many guys as we can. And that's mostly just because of the fact that, I don't want to be in a position where we have to take a bunch of walk-ons or have to rely too heavily on the transfer portal. We do have a fullback as well. That's pretty cool. A fullback who cares about brand exposure is just wild to me. Like, really, dude? Like, you're a fullback. What do you mean brand exposure? What brand do you have besides, like, Black Rifle Coffee? You're a fullback. But neither here nor there. There's some talent here at receiver, but they're all old. Right, so we're going to be building that up. From looks of things, there's lots of receivers to go out and get, but we're going to have to build the receiver room. Edge, new position this year, so we don't have to worry about edge rushers being out in coverage, unless it's a play that calls from the drop back into coverage for a play. But we won't have to worry about there being plays where they drop back in the coverage. That should allow me, actually, if I want to run a 4-3 defense, I'll be able to run a 4-3 defense, right? I'll be able to do all that sort of stuff. And some talent on this defensive line as well. Then you have the Sam, Will, and Mike. These are just linebackers. Simple as that. That's how I think that's how everyone's going to view it. This is just linebacker, right? They split up into 3 different positions, but you technically could look for different things in each one. But I think most people, you're just going to probably look for thumpers and lurkers and things like that. Maybe signal callers, but anything other than that, you probably don't want. Corner is where this roster, I think, really kind of falls apart a little bit. Really, the secondary in general. These guys are just not very good. And the speed is the thing that's going to be worrisome for a lot of our seniors. They're not very quick, and we're not going to have time to grow them. These other guys, our safeties as well, are not very good. So I can see a situation where we get beat on the back end pretty frequently. Pickney is the best safety we have. Even he doesn't have that good of speed. So, again, getting beat on the back end. They have some new FCS teams. We're going to play FCS Midwest. I believe that is not the Experts team builder team from last year. So we're going to take them on at Brooks Stadium. Got a home game against East Carolina. Here is the recruiting board. All we need. You will see that at the end of the episode, where I've done about 2 weeks of recruiting, but We got some names interested in coming here. Some 3-star, some 2-stars. We're not gonna. I'm definitely not gonna put any 1-stars because those guys just are never worthwhile. Some 2-stars will be on here, and we're gonna try to get a class here of mostly 3-star prospects. So here we are, week 1, taking on Virginia on the road, taking on the Cavaliers, the Chanticleers versus the Cavaliers. Another reason why I picked Coastal Carolina is that I like all their uniform options, right? I went through, I believe it was, I believe Eric Wayweather uploaded a video of all the uniforms, and I decided to go through there, look through the teams that I was thinking about, and I came away really liking Coastal's whole set. I think there's a lot of options we can go with here. So here we are, week 1, on the road, taking on Virginia, the Cavaliers. If you are hyped for College Football 26 Dynasty, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up with this series. But we have to take on Chandler Morris here. 6-foot quarterback, 192 pounds. And yeah, this was my first bit of gameplay. I actually messed around in Road to Glory a little bit, so just to get acclimated with the game controls. But early on here, they're trying to drive. We get them to a 3rd and medium situation here, 3rd and 4. And I'm going to play with the safety here. We're going to come down, and we make a pretty good play right there. Inches, we stop it, and we force a punt. So that allows us to potentially steal some momentum here, right? I almost view that as kind of like stealing a drive. Not really, it's not a turnover, but getting an early 3 and out, I think, is so big for us, for a team like us, when we're playing these teams that are, Virginia is like a mid-tier ACC team, but they're still way better than us. So I really love that about College Football 26, that you've noticed we can't really run the football. We can't really, in between the tackles, we just can't do it. Our guys just really struggle holding these blocks. 3rd and 1 turns into 4th and 1, and we're going to go for it. Just kind of have to hope we could finally get it, and we finally do pick up that first down. So at the very least, we should be in field goal range here, get some points, and nice throw right there to Tucker. So, things are looking good here. We're driving right now. I'm feeling good about things. Let's try an RPO. Raquan Barber is cooking right now, cooking with gas, and that is going to be a pick 6. Yeah, I'm calling it already because no way anyone's going to catch him. DB perfectly read the play, and he takes it all the way back. 77 yards, 6'6" for Keenan Johnson. And that is going to be first blood here, drawn by the Cavaliers. And we are now trailing 7-0 here. Going to try to get a screenplay working here. Can we run it? We can get it. We pick up the first down, but not much else. Would have liked some extra blocking on that play, but just didn't really get it. So now we're going to come back here, run a play. Pretty nice right there, right? We have some success running the football. It's just not as much as I think I would like. We have to wait a little bit here. Here's a really nice throw right here from Baker. And honestly, it looks like he has enough arm to really make the throws I need him to make. That interception was mostly on me. I should have maybe just ran the football right there, but here we are back in scoring position. 1st and goal, 8 to go. Now it turns into 3rd and goal. And we're going to come back here looking, and we're going to throw this one. Why did he stop? I don't know why Wayne stopped right there. Oh, that should have been 6. Instead, we're going to have to settle for a field goal, and we make that one. I feel like that still wasn't turned to the left enough, but it was turned to the left just enough to get in there. So Virginia, what are they going to do? They haven't done much on offense. Well, now they have done a lot on offense here. Big play right there. And we just can't hold up that long. If we're not getting pressure, the secondary is going to get cooked. It's just the way it's going to be. And wide open guy underneath right there. He gets brought down, and Virginia, within 2 plays, is within field goal range. So 2nd and 3 now here for the Cavaliers. We try making a play here. I tried blowing the guy up. I should have maybe just went for the wrap up. Instead, it's a Cavaliers touchdown as Virginia extends the lead here and makes it 14-3. We're not out of this one at all, but it just feels like, when you're playing these teams like this, when you're a smaller team like this, like Coastal, and you play a bigger school like Virginia, any sort of deficit feels massive. So Barber gonna throw this one right here, and he picks up. I hope I wasn't calling him Baker at any point. I don't think I was, but if I did, my bad. His name's Barber, Roquan Barber, and maybe we had X right there. Pressure was coming in. I don't think he had time to set his feet and launch that one. Instead, it's an incomplete pass. We have to punt, and things are, looking okay. We get a sack. There we go. Wyatt Gedden gets the sack right there, makes it 3rd and 19. So what can we do here? Just going to play some coverage. If we give up yardage on this play, I don't mind. We are going to give up some yardage a little bit right here, but important thing is makes it 4th and medium, not enough to consider going for it here. So we force a punt, and then we take it into the second half here. We try one of these jet passes. These used to be so good in CFB 25. Had to try one here, and yeah, no, not as good here. Not as good. It's not good if you don't have the athletes to run it, I think. And second 11 turns into 3rd and 11 after that. So we come back here. Just going to run this football. Thought about an RPO, but just decided just to run it. 4th and 5. You call that because you probably, if you get enough, you probably feel confident about doing this, going forward on 4th and 5 here. Got to make something happen here. Just can't give the ball back to him. And going to wait here. Steps back in the pocket. We're going to fit that one in to Wayne right there. And Barber, outside of that interception, is having a pretty decent game. And Jalen John is going to come up hurt right there. We did a lot of stuff towards John and Wayne. And, we get here to Simpkins. He would come in and make it 3rd and 7. Jalen John, bruised ribs. He's going to go sit for a little bit, drink a Gatorade maybe. And now we just don't have time. We had X underneath, but we just didn't have the time to throw that one. And 4th and 7. I feel like you just got to go for it instead of punting here. Risk giving the ball back. That's going to be short of the marker. And we give the ball back anyways. Maybe we should have just punted, but either way, 2nd and 10. And that's going to be just a big play into the open field right there. And Virginia, that's why we didn't want to give the ball back. That's why we went for it, because we just felt like they would be able to do this regardless. And now they're kind of starting to put their foots on our necks right now. Again, you're starting to see just the eventual difference in talent level here at Coastal compared to Virginia. It's another touchdown for the Cavaliers. They're going to jump this lead up to 21-3 at this point in the game. And we are just not able to really stop them when we need to stop them. It doesn't help that we're not able to score, really. So 3rd quarter winding down, another screenplay. We get some blockers out in front. I wish they would just block the guys instead of going to the next guy. Just block the guy in front of you, please. Let me worry about that last guy instead of you going for him. So we changed up the blocking a little bit on this play to make sure, people are blocking who they need to block, and we still just barely had enough time. But Burrag able to make the play, able to make the catch, slip a tackle, pick up some extra yardage after that play, and now we're in deep into Virginia territory. Gonna come back here, gonna find Tucker, best receiver on the team. We just have not been able to get to him a lot today. Jamison Tucker with 3 receptions. He's probably not gonna be too happy about that. 3rd and 5, gonna throw this one to Simpkins, and he drops the ball. 4th and 5, we gotta go for it here. 4th quarter, field goal does nothing for us. A touchdown at least maybe makes this the game. Throw this one to Burrag, able to escape one man, drag 2-1 to the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. So the first touchdown of the Phil Saldana era goes to Burrag. And there we go. Kane Burrag. And you know what? I don't want to say we're back in this game fully, but we might be back in this game right here. We get a stop, get a touchdown. You got yourself a game. So look at that. Nice move by Young right there to get the sack. And there we go. So we get 2nd and 15 now. We just got to make, 2 more good plays, and then we can get them off the field, potentially get this ball back. They're going to go backwards that time. So Virginia's starting to go the wrong way here. His momentum maybe starting to shift a little bit here. Game getting a little too tight for Virginia. Are we about to make a comeback here? We get the interception? No, we don't. And that's going to be gone. Touchdown, Virginia. And that is more than likely the dagger right there. Went for the big play. Maybe should have just swatted that thing down. But in these sorts of games, when you're trailing like this, I feel like you just got to go for those big plays. And again, the safety help. I feel like he just wasn't quick enough getting over there. Again, that's what I talked about. These safeties we have aren't as quick as I necessarily would like. They can't cover a lot of ground. And, you know, here's a big play over the middle right here. That's why I wanted to maybe try to get that interception, get him off the field. Because if we do, I feel like we started to find a little groove here in the passing game. And, again, we're going to find Simpkins underneath, pick up the first down. We're able to finally really move the ball, maybe finally find a, offensive set that kind of works for us. Take a deep shot here, going for it all in and out of the hands of the receiver. That was a really good throw by Barber, so I feel comfortable with him being our starter moving forward for sure. And we're going to find Simpkins again. Simpkins making a name for himself while that other player is hurt, so I really like what I'm seeing out of Simpkins. Still some bumping on these receivers, but Barber able to escape, has the speed, able to make something happen right there. Slides down at the 13. So I'm going to go hurry up here before the 2-minute timeout. Not able to get the play off. We come back 2nd and 6. Barber going to throw this one to Simpkins, and he slips a tackle. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. So now we just need to get the onside kick and score a quick touchdown. And then get another onside kick and score a quick touchdown. And that's just not going to happen. Big hit right there. That doesn't dislodge the football. And that is going to be curtains on this one, as Virginia is going to start their season 1-0. And yeah, Keenan Johnson was a big difference maker in this game, as Virginia very consistent. 7-7, 7-7. That's all they needed to beat us. We did get 14 in that fourth quarter, but just was too little too late. Roquan Barber had a very good game. 47 passing attempts. Did not run the football as much. I know that average looks good, but I feel like that's carried by like 1 or 2 bigger runs. I felt like every time we tried running, we were kind of just getting smashed. It was like running into a brick wall. We just could not get the blocks that we needed. And as we build this team out, it's going to be something we're going to have to really look at, I think, moving forward for sure. But apart from that, we're able to pass the football against this Virginia team, which gives me some confidence that we'll be able to be pretty effective when we get to Sunbelt play. 2 sacks for Henry Young and a sack for Wyatt Gedden. So, yeah, they were able to do that. So, we had more total offense than them, which makes sense. We were trailing. When you're trailing, you're going to put the ball up a little bit more. You're going to pass it more. We had the possession time, too. I mean, their touchdowns were mostly all just kind of blown coverages, quick strikes, things like that, missed tackles. But either way, we lost 28-17. So, a little disappointing, but that's what we expected. So our first bit of recruiting here. We're in first place with a lot of these guys right now. Second place with some guys, some 2 stars, a couple 3 stars. So just going to avoid 1 stars until they start making it to where like, hey, you can maybe do something with 1 stars. Maybe I'll consider it. But Matt Cantu, we are going to immediately go to a soft sell. I believe I wanted to go and check his, actually he's top 5, but East Carolina is who we are going against, and we looked around, we thought about a sell, and I don't know if that's good enough for a sell to make it worth it. I believe there's the math, but we're going to do it anyways. We got to do something, I think, to try to get back ahead of East Carolina, and I think that's kind of what we're going to add another 5 points there to get it back to 25 hours. And we haven't scouted them yet. We just don't have the hours to be scouting guys all like that. But here's this other guy, and one of the things you have to remember is if they're in state to schedule a visit, it's really cheap this year. East Carolina, they're ahead of us on this guy, and we're going to take a different route with him in terms of a sell, because I don't think we have any good sells for him. I thought about a sell. you know, if he likes proximity to home, and we could find the cell that has, you know, some C's, and this one is, yeah, I just don't think we're gonna have enough of the. I forgot exactly. I think Max Plays CFB has done this math before. You got to get to 21. All these things add up to whatever, you know, points. If you get 21, you can definitely. It's worthwhile to go for a sell. For him, I don't think it's gonna be worthwhile. I don't think we reached that with any of our pitches right now. So we're gonna have to take a different route. We're gonna have to go with a visit versus ECU, week 3. I think that's actually a pretty good idea now that I think about it. So we're gonna look around here again. We don't know what he likes. We're just gonna have to hope that he likes proximity to home, and that's what we're gonna have to go with. If he likes proximity to home, there's a very good chance we can jump ECU with a win in week 3. So that's going to be the recruiting. Things are coming along pretty well on that, and all things considered, things are coming along pretty good here for CFB. Welcome back, everybody, to Coastal Carolina Dynasty here in College Football 26. If you've been enjoying the series, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into this episode here. Last time out, we lost to Virginia pretty handily. Some turnovers, just some unlucky breaks in that game led to us losing that one. Kind of showed that we're just not at the level of even a mid-tier ACC team as of right now. So we are going to spend this first bit of coaches' points. I don't like calling it CP just because that feels very weird. But we're going to go with this one. Reach your potential. Interest boost for O-line recruits when a current O-line hits a skill cap. That's mostly because I want to put in work, get an off-season training boost. I want to get that eventually. So we're going to take it on FCS Midwest, the Rebels. This is based off of Not the Experts Team Builder Dynasty team from last year, College Football 25. That was actually a pretty fun series. But yeah, again, these uniform options, I said it before, this is why I picked this team, just because having this many options, I think it'll always allow the series to feel fresh, if that makes any sense. I think just, you know, having this many options just allows me to play around with it a little bit more. And, you know, who knows, might be some more options added throughout the year. You never know, they're always updating this stuff. But yeah, that's what we're going with in this game. Looks pretty good, so here we are, our first home game here, and again, I'm going to ask you again, if you've been enjoying the videos, be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe for more Coastal Carolina Dynasty, as we are going to be taking on this FCS team. Hopefully we can get a win. You know, I know that might sound a little weird, but you gotta remember last year when this game launched, people were really struggling with these FCS teams. They were like a semi-tough out when College Football 25 first came out. So early on here, we're gonna get things started off here with Wayne. Nice little pass right there. I did change the playbook. I switched to the Texas playbook. Wanted to give that a look and kind of see if that had some of the things that I liked in there, and it really does. I really do like the Texas playbook. I might eventually have to make a custom one, though, as Jamarion Wayne is going to come up a little bit hurt right there, but we're going to come back, run this play right here to Tucker. He's going to pick up some nice yards right there, get all the way down to the 20. And Jamison Tucker, best receiver on the team, he didn't really do much in week 1. So we come back here. Barber just going to throw this one. Has to navigate the pocket. And he's able to find his man right there, Kane Burrog. And we're going to come back, hand this one off. We couldn't run the ball much last week, but this time we can run the ball. We're going to get a touchdown on our opening drive right here. And take an early 7-0 lead. Oh, he's doing the worm. Against FCS Midwest. And they have a chicken rooster mascot. Reminds me of a restaurant that used to be here in Milwaukee called Champion Chicken. They had a cool van with a chicken on top of it. I might post a picture of it right here. If I didn't, my bad. But yeah, FCS Midwest, we're going to get a sack right there. Brings them down. 2nd and 18 coming up. We couldn't get a lot of pressure last week, so it's very clear that they made these FCS teams not as good as they were last year. Would have been nice to be able to make a play right there, but we could not do that. So we're gonna come here, 3rd and 19. Just gotta play some coverage, keep everything in front of us. Can we get pressure? They're gonna throw this one up. I decide not to click on. I leave it up to the AI to make a play. And maybe I should have just clicked on and got the pick. I don't know. But they get all the way down here, 1st and goal. Gonna be a little read option here. Gonna bring down the quarterback. And then we're gonna come back, 2nd and goal. Hand off. I whiff on the hit stick. And we get to 3rd and goal now. So they're knocking on the door here. This drive has gone on way longer than I thought it would. Quarterback doesn't know what to do exactly. Going to get brought down. 4th and goal. 1 to go. It's a pretty long one, too. It's not like inches or anything. But we're able to come up here, make a play, rally to the ball carrier. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. So we take over at the 1. This is why if you're them, you don't mind doing this. Because you get them backed up. But we're able to make a nice little play right there and pick up some big yardage, get us out of that sort of dangerous situation, being backed up against our own end zone right there. And so look at that block right there. You know, I know there's been some complaints with this game, but I feel like at times you do get good blocks when these guys get out in space and they're going up against smaller guys. I do feel like you see a little bit more of guys just getting upended right here. But here's Burrog again, going in for the touchdown, outruns the entire defense right there, and that is just nice. Kane Burrog with the touchdown. Let's take a look at this replay here. Able to just stretch the defense and outrun. I mean, that looks like a defensive back, so some good speed on him right there as he's able to outrun everyone right there. Now 1st and 10. This one's going to go up here. This time we are clicking on, and we're going to get the pick. I believe that's going to be Ngakoue. Nchukwe or Ngakwe. It's one of the two. I am somewhat familiar with these names. Ooh, we have a turnover sword. If any Coastal Carolina fans in the comment section, can you tell me what that's called exactly, that sword? But Jeffrey Ngakwe, I believe that's how you pronounce that. I feel pretty good, pretty confident about that. He comes up, jumps up, makes the pick, and we get a nice field position here. We come back a little bit later, going to run this football, pick up the 1st down. We could not do that last week. We just were not getting runs like that consistently. We're going to take a shot here to Tucker, and Tucker can't get in the end zone. He's so close to getting that 1st touchdown of the season. I really want to get him that one just because he's our best receiver. I like trying to feed wide receiver 1. We come back, got to run this football, and we do get in. So there we go. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina again, and that will be 21-0. We are pretty much running away with this football game at this point. We come back, 2nd and 10, FCS Midwest, the Rebels. Down goes the quarterback right there. He's going to get sacked. Norman Arinzi making the big play right there. We're going to come back again here. It's 3rd and 15. It's Norman Arinzi again. This time he's going to get the fumble, but we can't recover it. Doesn't matter. 2 sacks on the day for him so far, and we are just taking it to the Rebels here. Here's just a nice play right here from Barber. That's just a nice ball. There's nothing more I can say about that. It's just a really nice ball. 3rd and 1. Going to find the other tight end right here, and we started getting him going a little bit here, so we've been able to spread the ball around. I think, you know, despite losing that 1st game, we're able to spread the ball around a lot. Play action look here. Shot to the end zone. Man has more than a step. That's a touchdown. That is just far too easy. We weren't getting these sort of looks last week, and it's just because we don't have the athletes. But when we take on, you know, the FCS teams, and we probably take on teams in the Sun Belt, we'll probably get better looks like this, you know. But our out-of-conference schedule, that's going to be kind of tough, I think, when we're not playing these FCS teams. So nothing really happened in the third quarter except us kicking a field goal. They get down the field. They are going to get in, get a touchdown. Shutout's not going to happen. You know EA doesn't like letting the shutout happen. I feel like there's some sort of code in the game where it's like, do not let a shutout happen. I feel like that happened right there. So I see that. I respond with, we're going to chew some clock, and then we are going to take a deep shot here to Tucker, and Tucker is going to come up with it, holds on to the football. And Jamison Tucker, that's how he gets his 1st touchdown of the season. Nice highlight play, and that is going to do it right there. 38-7 is going to be your final on this one. There's the Rooster, or the Chanticleer, I believe, right? That's someone's going to have to let me know about all the ins and outs of Coastal Carolina and all the lore behind the franchise. Or not the franchise, of the team. Just let me know about the lore of it. I would love to find out more about that. That's what I like about doing these series. You get to find out about all that stuff. But we win this game 38-7. Welcome back to Coastal Carolina Dynasty, everybody, here on the channel. If you've been enjoying these videos, leave a like on this one. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Tell your clergy, tell the guy who bags your groceries at the grocery store about the series and the channel. It all helps out. So, what do we have on deck in this episode? Well, we have a recruit on campus this week and for this episode. So, who is that recruit? Well, that is David Onjuge. You know what, since these are fictional players, I'm going to pronounce the name kind of however I want, if I'm being honest. So, David Onjuge is on campus we're attempting to kind of get back ahead of East Carolina. They don't have a visit scheduled with him yet, so we have one scheduled. We're hoping that he cares about proximity to home. I feel very good about him caring about that. Don't ask me why. It's just I have a feeling. So that would be a big recruit for us to get. And, you know, we're not too great with all our other ones. We have to start wrapping some of these commitments up, start getting these guys in here, and start getting kind of that stuff kind of put away so we can start focusing on maybe areas we're not as good at right now, and try to get this class better. Right now, we don't have a single recruit. The only school in our conference that has anyone recruited is the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. So as of right now, we don't have anyone on the board. Hopefully we hopefully we get that kind of squared away, start getting that. It's already week 3. I want to start getting some recruits on the board here in week 4 and 5. That's why it's going to be so important to beat this East Carolina team. They are better than us overall at a 71 offense, 71 defense. So hopefully we can try to keep up and slow down their offense with our 66 rated defense in this one. So we are here. It's raining. Of course it's raining. It's college football 26. A lot of rain. Apparently this has been fixed. Maybe they put out like a hot fix or something. But either way, the rain's coming down. We are here. We have a recruit in the house. We have to get a pretty nice win here. We really can't afford a loss if we want to get that recruit, or at least try to battle back to get that recruit. East Carolina, they are in on that guy, and a loss here probably really hurt them in terms of being able to get him. Trying to wrap that recruitment up before that recruit takes that visit with East Carolina. So we come in here, Jamison Tucker right away, able to find him underneath, pick up some nice yardage right there, pick up the first down. And the rain did give me some problems in this game, you know, just with trying to, as we reach out for the first down right there, give me some problems in terms of like quarterback accuracy at times. It was a little concerning in this game. You see here, we kind of get that negative effect. I think that's from the rain, actually. But we're able to come down with that catch. Jamison Tucker playing really nice for us right here. We're going to come back again, 1st and 10. Already some wear and tear on Barber. Able to find the tight end, pick up the first down, keep the chains moving. Going to come back here, 2nd goal at the 1. Going to be a handoff. Just follow the blocks up and get the touchdown right there. Jalen John with the score. And we're going to take an early 7-0 lead in this one. Just had to follow the blocks. Didn't hit the turbo button. Just followed the blocks. And we were able to get the touchdown. And I had to remind myself after playing this game for a little bit that you have to not hit turbo when you're running in between the tackles. So the guy we got to look out for here versus ECU is going to be their wide receiver, Anthony Smith. And boy, that guy's really loose with the football. But either way, they pick up a first down and they're going hurry up on me. So I always get a little concerned when you're playing these hurry-up teams, but we're able to get a sack right there. And so, pretty nice. hopefully we can get them off the field here. This 3rd and 11, but we have given up 3rd and longs so far this season. That's one of the negatives of our defense, is that we really do give up these kind of 3rd and longs. But this time, able to stop them. Now 3rd and 5 here. We're going to send John in motion, bring him back in, try to find something here. That should be an easy catch, but it's just not out in front of the receiver enough. DB able to get a hand on it. So we come back, and it's going to be East Carolina. Anthony Smith making 2 men miss right there, then picks up the 1st down. And now East Carolina, they are kind of in the zone a little bit here after that first drive, a little jittery. Now they're trying to come back here. Big play. I tried making a play on it, and we just really couldn't get our feet settled and get in front of that receiver and try to make a play on that football. Try to go for the interception. Maybe should just went for the deflection. Missed that player. Missed Anthony Smith, and just whiffed on the tackle right there. And East Carolina on the board. I'm not sure why he went that far towards that direction. I'm pretty sure whatever. It happened. I can't complain about it. We do get a nice look at that block right there. Just laid that guy out. I love seeing that this year in college football 26. I feel like you just never saw your blockers pancake guys like that, and this year they actually do it. So I like that. Another one of these kind of wobbly passes. I think that's just because of the rain that we're not able to deliver a clean ball to Kane right there. So again, just kind of another, just not a good pass right there. We're not delivering good passes, and that's leading to these kind of really inaccurate balls. But either way, you're still able to get down the field, still able to score a touchdown and retake the lead here. I'm not sure about the Heisman pose right there. It's only like week 4. So I don't know. Oh, technically week 3, but either way, we get a sack right there. They did not account for the extra man. Not sure what happened. What can Brown do for you? He can bring down their quarterback. That's what he can do. So, gonna be a nice tackle right there. 3rd and 15. Okay, this looks good, right? You would think so, but again, we've been giving these things up, and we almost get the interception. I thought they said when you clicked on and you hit that interception button, you were going to be rewarded. It feels like that has not been the case so far. So many drop picks from streams I've watched with people clicking on, and they read out that screenplay perfectly. Not much you can do there, just kind of stuck with it because they kind of had everything else covered up right there. And we're going to go for that, and Kane picks up 2 yards on the play. So that screenplay going for negative right there kind of just screwed up the entire drive. We're just going to throw this one up to Simpkins, and it's way too far in front of him. Probably a good thing it was too far in front of him. So we have to punt this ball back to ECU. 2nd and 5, looking, throwing, and that is going to be incomplete. So again, I do think the rain, some of those rain effects, weather effects are in this game. Maybe not the actual on-screen effects, but I think affecting the ability of the players is in there. And we give up a big play right there. Again, maybe should have just, went for the deflection, but got to try to make a play. And instead we give up a play right there. 4th and 4, they're going to go for it. This makes sense here. You cross the 50 at the 39. Might as well go for it. Try to pick up the 1st down. Try to make it an easier field goal attempt. I wish we would have not have tackled that guy right there because the clock would have ran out. Instead, they don't get 3 on the board. Instead, they do get 3 on the board, and we head into halftime. So that's kind of annoying right there. 14-10 at the half. They get the ball to start, and East Carolina here already at past midfield, and this guy is gone. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, East Carolina, and the momentum has just completely shifted here. That's why I really didn't want to give up a score before the end of the half because I knew they were going to get the ball back. And again, you just hate doing that. It's just so typical. You give up the field goal and then you give up a touchdown on the opening drive. So just no one can catch them. Just really annoying. And so we're going to have to go back down here and try to retake the lead here. They're up 17-14. Got to play a lot better. This, first half was really just kind of hot and cold offensively, and we'll come back, try to play some better football. That's a good ball from Barber right there, finding Tucker on that comeback route. I still like that with college football, that the comeback route works pretty well, and that's an interception. We just didn't get an animation right there. I hit triangle, didn't give me an animation to jump up. That's something that's still in these games that's really annoying, honestly. I that's just one of those kind of legacy things where they will not jump when you hit the jump button. Just give me an animation. If he misses the catch, he misses the catch. But if I hit the button as they pick up a first down, give me an animation. I find that very annoying. But either way, we bring some heat here. Heat doesn't get in, and East Carolina is marching down the field here. They're just on it right now. And this time, we bring them down on 3rd and 6, 4th and 11, and they are going to have to kick a field goal in the rain. Let's see how this one goes. They made the first one, and they're going to make the next one. So they extend their lead out, but not too far. We can still retake the lead with a touchdown, so I'm not too concerned at this point in the game. A little bit of play action. I tried not to do too much play action. That was a really risky throw, but we're able to pick up the first down right there. Brooks Johnson has made some really nice plays for us. Him and Kane Hurrag, really nice tight end combo, honestly, for us. And then we just throw one up here to Tucker. Why not take a shot? And Tucker able to come down with it, breaks a tackle, had one man to beat, and he's able to save a touchdown on that play. But that's a big 50-plus yard play for us. And now we come back 3rd and 4 here in the rain. And we're going to find, I believe that's Knox. And that's Cameron Knox. Makes a great play right there. Cameron Knox, we switched to him here. Felt like he had a little more juice, and he's able to get into the end zone despite Jalen John getting a touchdown earlier. Cameron Knox, I like him. He might be getting more playing time as we move forward, as we're going to retake the lead 21-20. And again, this was easy. Just follow the blocks, Knox, and he's able to do that, and we were able to pick up the lead right there. So, 3rd quarter, winding down a little bit here. East Carolina with the football. Play action, 1st and 10. Throws this one up. It bounces around a little bit, and that ends up in the hands of Gedden, of our linebacker, and he's able to get the interception. And we finally get the trophy for the top tradition. I believe that's a trophy you get for if you have a turnover celebration like this with the sword. Again, looked it up. I'm just going to assume someone at Coastal Carolina really liked Game of Thrones, and that's kind of why that popped up. Cameron Knox with a nice move right there, and we are cooking with gas right now. Feels like the momentum has completely shifted back towards us right now. I feel like just getting a guy like Knox in the game has really done that. We're going to come back here, going to find Wayne, and we pick up the first down right there. Jamarion Wayne. Really nice piece for us. I don't like the 25 at receiver. I'm going to assume there's a reason he has that number. But either way, we come back, get the touchdown with Jamison Tucker. And we're going to extend this lead out a little bit more. Still not sure about the Heisman posing. But either way, I don't think that's going to be a Heisman Trophy moment for Jamison Tucker unless we go absolutely insane this season. But either way, here comes East Carolina trying to stay in this football game, and their quarterback has all day to throw. We just tried staying in zone right there, and just didn't really work out for us that well. 3rd and 6 now here for East Carolina. They actually hand it off. I always find that very strange. Well, they hand it off right there because they are going for it on 4th down. That's the only reason why you would do that. 4th and 4 here, and here comes East Carolina, throws this one towards the end zone, almost comes down with it, but the second hit right there, able to jar that ball loose. And now we're able to take over here, and we're going to try to chew some clock a little bit here. They're not using their timeouts just yet. Looking, and there's a wide open Kane Burrag, and he's able to pick up the first down and more. And we're just going to keep chewing on that clock. 2nd and 9 here. Just going to be a quick pass right here to Simpkins, and I would appreciate if my guy would actually try to block right there. I think we actually would have got a block. I think we could have got a first down, but instead he kind of just came over there to play patty cake with him. Don't understand that. Knox in motion, and going to have to wait here, and that is going to be a drop right there. I think I waited too long for that one, so we're going to have to punt this ball back to East Carolina. Minute 56 left, 2nd and 7. Got to hold on here. They need to get a touchdown and then go for 2 to tie, but that doesn't matter because Gordon gets the interception, trying to take it back to the house. He gets shoved out of bounds at the 8, and that should do it right there. I'm not sure what the quarterback's telling his receiver. I think that's just a poor decision right there and a great play from Gordon, able to just read it, react to it, step in front of it, pick it off. So Marion Gordon with the interception right there. Great play, timely play. That's how you shut out an opponent right there. But we're going to go for a touchdown. We got to score this football here if we want to get that blowout victory for the recruit. And we get the touchdown right there. That should count towards a blowout win for us. 34, going to be 35-20 here as we are going to take down East Carolina. And 14 points in the fourth quarter. We just kind of exploded on them. And Roquan Barber, 366 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Really good, solid game from him. Good running when we got down into the red zone area. Good execution. When you're able to run the football in the red zone, it makes a lot of things easier on offense. 31-40. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Really good game. I mean, nothing I can really complain about except some of those throws that were kind of off kilter, which might have just been because it was like raining a lot. And so I think that does actually affect the quarterbacks a lot more than it has in years past. So that is really good. Running attack was okay when we needed it to be. In the red, I think we're a good red zone running team. We're not a good running team when we're just like out in space. That's just something we're not very good at. When we get down in the red zone, we can run the football. So if we spend a lot of time in the red zone, we'll look like a good running team, I suppose. But no sacks allowed either. The line held up. Julius Tate with an injury. I'll have to look into that. And Wyatt Gedden with the interception. And we got 2 sacks from Trey Brown, 2 sacks for Ibrahim Dawara, and then a sack from Darian Henry Young. So we were able to get after the quarterback in this one and throw their offense off at times when we needed to, but get in with an interception and Gordon with an interception as well. So able to get some turnovers, able to get some sacks, and when you're able to do that, it's easy to win games. So we have 18 coaches points to spend, and we are going to spend these, of course, in Motivator, and we're going to spend these on defensive back and build that out a little bit more. Try to get those off-season boosts for those guys because we kind of just need to get those. So how did we do on the visit? We did pretty well, but East Carolina, they have a visit week 5. So I do wonder how that's going to hold for us, but we get the nice win over them. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try to find some hours, and we're going to try to start hard selling David Onjugwe. I believe that's how that's pronounced. I believe we have just enough here to begin hard selling him. And I don't know if we have enough right now to hard sell him. We're looking around. We do. Hard sell. So that's what we're going to go with. And we have the A+. His deal breaker is proximity to home. We have an A+ there. He's from Blythewood, South Carolina. This should just be enough to make a hard sell worth it, and that's what we're going to go with for him. Hopefully we can withstand that visit from East Carolina and their week 5 visit. We can withstand it, and that we can wrap up this recruit and get a 3-star in here for one of our first recruits of this class. Hopefully we can do that. I don't know if we'll be able to, but it's something I hope that we're able to do. There is a website you can go to where you can add all of that stuff up, add up the grades, and you'll see if whether or not you should hard sell, soft sell, or don't sell. I'll try to put a link in the either in the description, or I'll try to put a link in the comment section so you guys can find that, or it's on my might be on my Twitter as well. Go to my Twitter and you'll be able to find that. But 40 hours going to Ojibwe, and again, our grades: proximity to home is an A+, conference prestige is a C, and our championship contender is a D-. But those are the grades that we have to work with. So I guess we just have to kind of go with it and hope that we can wrap up this recruitment. And, you know, that's the only real recruiting thing I have for you. We're looking good with everything else right now, but this is the one that really matters. Quentin Owen is a guy. We're going to go with proximity to home for him. And, yeah, hopefully that works. Put another 5 hours on him for the wide receiver. Try to get him in here as well. You know, I do like the changes they've made to this recruiting screen, where they put the little red dot by the hours, and then they put the green top 5 by them. But Wand East, proximity to home is his deal breaker. Another guy from South Carolina we're looking good on. Daryl Lamb, another guy from South Carolina we're looking at. Andre Fortanto is defensive tackle. Another guy we're looking at, gap specialist. A+ proximity to home. And we're going to try to find a sell for him. Just because we want to start trying to sell these guys, I think. And again, the A+, this is why it's so important to have this. If you have an A+ here, it almost doesn't matter what your other grades are. You should just barely have enough to be able to sell. So we're gonna look through here. Is there anyone we can take hours off of? And, you know, we'll take 5 off of this guy, and then try to go here to Fortanto, and instead we'll go with the hard sell here for him. This should just be barely enough to justify a hard sell. So hopefully it still is. If it's not, we'll find out. But, you know, we got to start taking some risk here to get some of these recruitments wrapped up. So when we come back, we're going to be taking on South Alabama for our first Sun Belt Conference game of the season. So welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is South Carolina Dynasty. Got a double feature for you today in this episode. 2 games in 1. It's pretty fun. Why don't you hit that like button so that YouTube can push these videos out to other people who like Dynasty videos and things like that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're back here taking on South Alabama. This is our first Sun Belt game of the season. So pretty big game, I actually think, to kind of just get us kind of in the right framing of things in the Sun Belt. See if maybe we can make a run at this thing this year. 2-1 on the season. We give up some yardage right there. 3rd and 3. South Alabama, they want to get their season back on track. They're 1-2. And down goes their quarterback. Ibrahim brings them down, and they're going to have to punt this one away. So Raquan Barber just going to find Burrag with the first down right there. Big play for us right there. And we've had a lot of success throwing to the tight end so far this season. Throwing to running backs a little bit here as well. Tried making a man miss. Maybe a little too far out for that juke move. But either way, able to pick up the first down. And we're driving 2nd and 6. Barber probably dropped back a little too far right there. But Gilly able to get this touchdown. And we draw first blood here versus South Alabama. And that's 7. Well, technically 6. Pending the PAT, which we would make. But just a nice drag play. Able to get across the field and get the touchdown. So now 3rd and 1. And that's going to be a big first down run. We've got guys spinning, going off of tackles. I have seen every running back. I've watched so many streams from different creators. And lots of broken tackles, it feels like. I get the reasoning. That's a nice hit right there. We actually injured their player, so that's a good thing. He's dancing even though he's injured. They got to change that one day. But either way, it's 1st and 10, and they're able to pick up some nice yards right there, make it 2nd and 2, more manageable for them. It's going to be a handoff, and no one's able to get there, just shoves off a guy and able to pick up the 1st down. So Cantrell Bullock, some nice moves right there. Good balance and play strength, honestly. And quarterback able to kind of withstand the pressure right there and deliver a ball to the check down right there. So first quarter winding down here. Kind of a little razzle-dazzle right there. Couple little fakes. Able to just kind of confuse the defender. Weren't able to get there for the sack. Second quarter now, 3rd and goal. And just a nice throw on the run. Lines it up perfectly for the field goal. Davenport. And this should be an easy one right down the middle. And South Alabama is going to be on the board. So the Jaguars get on the board. We come back. And I'm probably just taking way too much time here. I think I was trying to get something to Roquan Barber. I was trying to get something to our receivers on the outside, Jamison Tucker. And we just weren't able to kind of do it. Took a little too much time. And we waited way too long here. I was trying to look for Tucker again, and then kind of that guy went over in the zone and kind of discouraged me from throwing that comeback route. And so we turn it over deep in our own territory, honestly. Yeah, not ideal for us. And, early on, I'm willing to take those risks. In the first, half of the game, I'm willing to do that just because there's a lot of football left to kind of make up for that. Not able to get to the sack again. Just, these play actions that this South Alabama team was able to do kind of throw us off at times. We just weren't able to get there, complete the play, and then we give up a touchdown. So we give them a short field, took a risk, and they're going to take an early 10-7 lead. That's why I was fine with taking the risk. Only down by a field goal. So 2nd and 9. Just going to take the check down here to Kane Burrag and able to pick up the 1st down. So that's fine. A lot of football left. We can always come back and try to get outside the pocket here. Tried making a play. Just can't turn the corner. It's one of my issues with this year's game, if I'm being honest. I think they went way too far, in the other direction in terms of movement and speed. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't think EA football games do well when they try to get quote-unquote realistic. These games should be fast-paced and fun. That's what these games, I think that's what they do well. And either way, we end up picking up the 1st down. Kane Burrag, our probably top receiver in terms of receptions and things like that. So Simpkins, also very nice for us as well. He picks up the 1st down. So we're driving here for the 2-minute timeout. I keep wanting to call it a warning, even though that's not a thing here. But here's Simpkins. Spins 2 guys out. Gets spun around again. And then goes in for the touchdown. So just like that, we're able to retake the lead here. Javian Simpkins. Just really nice. Just followed the blocks right there. I do like seeing that. That's one thing I have to give them credit for this year. If your linemen get out in space and they're squared up with a smaller guy, more often than not, that guy's going to get just pounded into the ground. And I like seeing that, honestly. And here's the running back again. Cantrell Bullock just spitting out of a tackle. Finally put him down, but it's giving us some issues here. 3rd and 10, minute left. Trying to get to the quarterback. He's running around here, throws this one on the run, and then Bullock breaks another tackle, stiff-arming a guy right there. Yeah, he's just a tough guy to bring down. They go a little read option here and wanted to put a hit on the quarterback. I really want to make their quarterbacks pay for not sliding, and yeah, that would have been nice. But 3rd and 7 here, in field goal range, we're able to bring down the quarterback. And that could potentially make this a tougher kick for South Alabama. They actually don't even attempt to kick. They actually punt the ball. So either way, we're able to pick up the 1st down here. There's still enough time for us to make something happen. We're going to go hurry up here, try to get this ball to the line. Once we get there, then that clock's going to run. So we're going to make a little adjustment here. Try to see if we can get something outside. Maybe should have went to the running back who was running towards the out-of-bounds marker, so we burn a timeout right there. Preserve some time. 22 seconds left. We still have a shot to do something here. Gonna find Hurrag right there. 14 to 10. 17 seconds left. Now the clock starts running again. Got to get this ball out quick. Can't take a sack. So 10 seconds left. We still have a timeout in our back pocket. So we can get this to someone in the middle of the field, make something happen, make a few men miss, potentially get out of bounds, preserve that timeout, maybe another quick play, try to solve for a field goal. But you know what? We're just going to take a shot towards the end zone. So we're going to go into halftime with a timeout in our back pocket. But Barber stands tall in the pocket, throws this one deep. This one's for Jamison Tucker, and Tucker comes down with it. Touchdown. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. We get a big play right there. Let's take another look at this. And Tucker, 3 guys converge on him. He's somehow able to come down with that football. And maybe they went a little too OP with the aggressive catch. But I felt like last year you didn't have too many jump ball opportunities. So, you know, like I said, you got to take the good with the bad with sometimes with these games. But either way, able to be able to try to get this running attack going at times. It's just kind of tough. Feels like we're not getting the best guard play, but sometimes we get a couple nice little runs right there. Comes in like spurts. We'll get a nice couple run plays and then nothing. 3rd and 5 here. Barber going to throw this comeback route to Tucker, and I love those comeback routes at times. They can be just so deadly if you have a good receiver, good corner, or bad corner combination. Either way, we're able to get the edge here, and we're able to get the touchdown right there. Jalen John with the score, and South Alabama going to trail by 18 here. They're going to get something going here. So Davenport going to throw this one over the middle of the field, picks up the first down. So now 2:50 left, play action look here, and just another wide open guy in the middle of the field. Right now, our coverage is just kind of not holding up. If it takes any longer than like 2 seconds, guys are getting open. We got to be able to get home. And again, able to extend the play, and we give up a touchdown. That's kind of the story of this defense right now. Not getting pressure when we need it. So 28-17 here. Going to call a screen. That gets sniffed out. And 2nd and 15 coming up now. Looking. Just going to take the underneath route here to Gilly, and we're able to pick up the first down right there. So just had to do that and try to keep this drive alive. 3rd and 8 now. Looking, gonna get sacked. 4th and 18 coming up here midfield. I don't dare go for it right there. A little too late in the game to be going for it, in my opinion. Somehow we hit the tackle button, then the game just kind of took us out of the play. You know, memo to EA, could you please fix that? 3rd and 4 here. Davenport throws this one up. We click on and tried going for the swat, and then it didn't give me an animation. So very annoying right there. Felt like we shouldn't have given that one up. Didn't think we had a shot to go for the interception, but instead we get a failed swat attempt. Next play, they come out and score a touchdown. So now they're going to go for 2 points here. Make it 25-28. So can we stop them here? Going to try to bring some pressure, and they say that's in. I don't think that's in. That looked short to me. But either way, 4 minutes to play here. Barber, that's a risky throw. Hurrag able to pick up some nice yardage on that play, but did not expect that guy to sit down there. I think they were playing a Tampa 2 right there. Either way, we try running this football, and we're going to pick up the first down. And trying to bleed some time off of this clock in case we have to give him the ball back. John picks up some more yardage. Trying to just bleed this clock as much as we can. We pick up another first down, and they got to call another timeout. So they're going to be they're down to 1 timeout here, or come back a little bit later. Now they're out. And see, no one's covering Simpkins here, so we're going to wait, throw this football to him, get it to him, and Simpkins, we're just going to go down. We're just going to go down. Could have ran it in for the touchdown, but I don't want to give them the ball back, and we are just going to kneel this one out, and we're going to get out of here with a victory. We're going to prove to 3-1 on the season. 28-25 is your final here. Coastal Carolina coming away with a nice victory. Roquan Barber put up another great stat line in this one. He has been playing great for us so far to start this season. Here, if you're still watching this video, leave a like. Leave a like. If you have made it this far into the video, you should absolutely leave a like on this video. Like I said earlier, it helps the channel. It helps get these videos out to more people. And yeah, so Old Dominion, they have a nice uniform set, just that powder blue. I don't need uniforms to be too crazy, just some nice color here. And Old Dominion, they have a cracked linebacker. You'll probably see him throughout the day. He is probably going to make our lives a living hell. Anytime teams have really good linebackers, it makes things very tough. I mean, this guy, we kind of thought we juked him out right there, number 42, but he was still able to kind of come back for us right there. And you see, Old Dominion, they have a recruit visiting, so this is a kind of a big game for them. And so anytime you're playing a conference team that has a recruit on campus, you want to beat them, right? You want to beat them. Nice throw right there, but you want to beat them. I don't want anyone in my conference getting better than me. So that's what we are going to try to do. We tried running this football, and this game was very tough throwing the ball. This game was very tough throwing the ball. You see right there, everything just got bottled up. So then we're just going to throw this one up. That was almost intercepted. So the drive started off pretty promising, and it's quickly deteriorated here as we've crossed the midfield. So we're just going to run a screenplay here. I don't know where my guard's going. They just start running upfield. Just get the guy right in front of you. It doesn't matter if you go upfield if the guy's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So their quarterback runs a little read option, and we hit him. We get the fumble. That's I think that would be our first forced fumble of the year. Whitaker able to pick up the football, gets in, touchdown, Chanticleers. And there we go. Scoop and score. Anytime I see a quarterback running with the football, I want to lay in a big hit on them, and we were able to do that right there. Just squared them up. Big hit. Maybe should have slid, asshole. And their quarterback took a lot of abuse in this game. They were trying to run him a lot, and every time they tried running him, like, we're putting in a big hit. So we get a turnover and a score right there. So first drive didn't go well. We're able to come back. Defense able to put some points on the board. So they're able to run the football a little bit on us. You know, for a team that's 1-3, felt like they played a lot better than a 1-3 football team, that's for sure. So able to get outside again, and that was probably a mistake on the vision part of that running back. He probably should just cut that upfield. Probably could have got an additional 10 yards. So 3rd and inches. What are they going to do? They're going to run the football and can't bring them down in the backfield. That would have been a big stop. But we come back, second quarter. It's now nighttime. And running back again. This running back has some herky-jerky movement. It was really tough to get a read on where the hell he was going to be. Just always changing direction. Made it tough. 3rd and 6 here. Going to throw this one. And that is just going to be a first down right there. We were right there on him. Just could not bring him down before he got to the first down marker. Quarterback runs with the football again. And again, we're going to put hits on him. Just keep hitting him really hard. If you want to run with your quarterback, I'm going to hit your quarterback a ton. And either way, able to get him to come up a little bit short right there at the 2, 2nd and goal. What are they going to do? No handoff here. Quarterback holds on to it. I decided to send some heat after him so he doesn't run into the end zone. So that's another hit on him. So we're putting some damage on their quarterback. I'm almost positive his wear and tear is starting to add up a little bit. But then I whiff on a tackle. In goes Old Dominion. They are going to tie this thing up 7-7. Couldn't hold up forever. So that was a little tough right there. Marquis James able to basically just walk into the end zone. So we haven't had a good drive yet offensively. Deep shot here to Burrag. And we're able to pick up the first down right there into Old Dominion territory. Now a handoff here. Simpkins going to pick up some nice yardage right there. Picks up 9 on the play. That was one of our better runs of the game, honestly. So we're going to another handoff here. And despite one of our linemen getting tossed like a rag doll, able to avoid them, able to pick up the first down. And that's all that matters. Going to come back, screenplay here. Someone get a nice block. We get 2 nice blocks. We spin, pick up the first down. Not as fun as last week's little spinning cycle, but either way, still able to pick up the first down. We're able to cut it back up the middle here. I have really remembered not to hit the damn turbo button behind the line of scrimmage, but here comes Cameron Knox, runs through a couple defenders, able to drag a few along with them. I feel like some games Jalen John just doesn't give us what we need at running back, and Cameron Knox gives us, I don't know, that just burst, that speed and mix of power that I just love having out of a running back, and Cameron Knox showed it again right there. He can hit the hole fast, and then he can drag a couple guys with him, and I just love that out of a running back. Keeps the feet moving. Kind of like reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew, if I'm being honest. So they take a shot here. We come up with the interception. Yeah, I clicked on. I just can't trust the AI all the time. So we are able to get the interception. Jeffrey Nchukwu gets the interception. I hope I'm saying that name right. 14-7. We have an opportunity to go down here and really put our foot on their necks here. Make this, get another score. Make this a double-digit lead. And we have a good opportunity to do that. Or so I thought, because now it's 3rd and 11. Barber looking. I thought maybe I could fit this. Nope. Going to get knocked down, and I'm lucky that wasn't intercepted. So, and one of our players got hurt on the play. So we come back, second half of this game, and their quarterback throws this one, just a wide open receiver. I think coverage just broke down there. Probably playing in a zone look right there. Our guys at times are terrible in man, terrible at zone. We put on a big hit on their running back, though, and that's something I'm really proud of this game, is that we were able to put a lot of big hits. Even though we're giving up these runs here, we're making them earn it. So, I mean, these guys are just taking a pounding today. And then this isn't James. This is their backup running back. He's in because I think James took so much wear and tear that they had to start cycling in their backups a little bit. So I am proud of that. But either way, we give up a touchdown right there. Tried laying a big hit. And then Old Dominion ties up the game. But I think the other defender from the backside came in and kind of pushed him in the end zone. So that was not ideal. 3rd and 6, all tied up here at 14-14. And I really don't appreciate just going for the knees there on the linebacker. Put a hand on him. Okay, get him out of the way. I don't just try to chip him or something. I mean, Jesus, that doesn't help. So there's another big hit to their running back. Now, here they go. Another handoff again. So tried laying in another big hit on him. Because I'm like, if you're going to run this football, you're going to feel it. That was basically my mindset. And so trying to get the defense set up right here. So we're not getting screwed. But then we end up hitting the quarterback. Pretty good. 4th and 5 coming up here. Out would come the field goal unit for Old Dominion. And they would hit this. So that will give them the lead. Both of these games here, start off the Sun Belt, start off conference play, have been very tough for us. So 1st and 10 here. Shotgun formation. Trying to wait for Tucker to come across. I think that would have been picked if we would have actually got that one off. So kind of a good thing we got hit. But then we're going to find Tucker here in the slot. Just put him on a streak. Let him outrun everyone. And Jamison Tucker to the house. Touchdown. Coastal Carolina. And that was too easy. Tucker just kind of split the zone right there. I noticed they were playing a lot of Tampa 2 in this game. I don't know if that was the play call, but they were playing a lot. I just figured, well, if we have some speed in the slot, we should be able to kind of bust through that. So we retake the lead, 21-17. 1st and 10. They can't get the run game going right there. 2nd and 13 now. And they're just going to try to do a little RPO action. Able to bring them down. 3rd and 9. Keep everything in front of us. Try to rally to the ball carriers here. And they go for a little play action. Look here, we're in coverage. And we force a throwaway. So they're going to have to punt this one away. We have not been able to sustain a lot of drives. But you see, they're giving Tucker so many free releases. I just have to keep hitting that. I'd be stupid not to. You're going to give them a free release and play zone. Well, I'm going to hit you over the top with them repeatedly. And we have a really good look here at this one. Able to get that ball in, fit it in, touchdown, Jamison Tucker. And we are going to extend our lead here, 27-17. And we are just cooking with gas here right now in this second half. Really starting to find our footing. And their quarterback going to be running here. We put a good hit on him right there. And he's still able to stay up, which is a little disappointing. So they come back again. Another look here. Quarterback. This time we're going to bring him down, even though he throws the ball away. And he's going to have to exit the game. We actually bang up their quarterback, knock him out of the game. And it doesn't matter because they're still able to run the football on us. But, you know, just being able to knock him out of the game, I think is a positive. And again, one of the reasons why I actually like this wear and tear feature is, like, you can knock guys out of the game, right? If you're putting the hits on the guy, you should be able to do that. But either way, Mariki James, that's how you say his name, up to over 100 yards on us. And it kind of just runs like that. I mean, it feels like at times he was just getting off 10 apiece. 10 apiece, 10 apiece, 10 apiece. It was really annoying. Just not much we could do about it. This is their backup quarterback. He can also run. And he picks up the first down. So we come back here, 1st and 10. Looks, fires, going to find his tight end, I believe. And in he goes for a touchdown. And Old Dominion staying in this game. The Monarchs, they're not going away quietly. And then they're going to go for 2, and they get it. So 25-28 here. We still have the lead. 4th quarter underway. So what are we going to do? Well, they keep, you know, I think we found this formation here, and it kind of started to work for us a little bit. Didn't allow them to bunch us up as much. I like running bunch sets, but I just felt like against this Old Dominion team, it didn't work. So we're just going to take a shot here to Tucker. Can he come down with it? 2 defenders draped over him. Jamison Tucker still comes down with the football. Doesn't matter if there's 2 guys, 3 guys, 1 guys, no guys. Jamison Tucker is going to come down with that football more often than not. And either way we come back. Simpkins with the touchdown. There we go. Re-extend this lead back out. And we are going to go for 2 here. My logic for this is I take away the touchdown field goal tie opportunity. I think it's important. Kind of dictate to them what they can do if they want to win this game. We make it an 11-point game, so they're going to have to get a 2-point conversion if they get another touchdown, if they want a chance to just tie this game up. You know, so we injure one of their players. I think it was an ass injury or something. I'm not sure. He's holding his ass, so maybe a tailbone? I don't know. Either way, they have another running back here. This guy's also running all over us. 47, that's a diabolical number for a running back, if I'm being honest. That's like a fullback number. But yeah, 2nd and 12. They're going to catch this one. Put a big hit on their guy, but they still pick up the first down. So their normal quarterback's back in the game. Throws this one on the run. Able to bring them down after the catch. Don't let them get the first down. But either way, it's just kind of our defense kind of wilting a little bit here. Would like to be able to get stops when we can get them. And then Robbie Washington is going to come up hurt. Nothing too serious. Now, little read option here with the quarterback. And another big hit on him. I know that wear and tear is still bothering him. So putting another hit on their quarterback is worthwhile. I like that it's a real strategy you can have in this game. But yeah, going to be another handoff to this running back, and he is able to get in, get a touchdown, and keep them alive here. 31-36, 5-point game. They're going to go for 2 here, looking, and that is going to get broken up. So now they need a touchdown if they want to win this game. They can't even think of going for a field goal. That's why I like doing that, going for 2 right there. And so Johnson, our second tight end, able to make a play right there. At this point, what can we do to make sure they never get this ball back? That's what we want to do. 3rd and 1, running time off the clock. Here's Knox, and Knox is going to get stripped. Fumbles the football. Oh No. That is no good, and they're pretty well in our own territory here. 2nd and 6 here, going to be a handoff. So that is not ideal. Knox, and we can't bring down their running back. And that is disappointing because right now it just feels like the way they're playing, that feels like just not a matter of if, it's a matter of when do they get into the end zone. Their quarterback's running again, another hit on him. And he is going to leave the game again with another injury. Think this guy would learn when to slide, but now their backup quarterback's in. He played well, but now this is actual crunch time. 2 minutes left. Throws this one up, got pressured. That's going to be an interception. Pinckney picks it off, and he's going to run this one back. 2:01 on the clock. Wish we could have took that extra second off. And he's yelling at someone, but clearly that was just a bad throw. That receiver was covered up. There's about 3 guys on him, and the sword comes out. We would end up finishing this one off, picked up a few first downs, and we're going to move to 2-0 in conference play. Welcome back to Coastal Carolina Dynasty, everyone. And this episode, we're taking on ULM Monroe, or UL Monroe? I forget how to pronounce it. The Warhawks. This is a team that I actually am somewhat familiar with. If you remember last year, Aiden Armenta had 2 interceptions last week. If you remember last year, my Team Builder Dynasty, the team I replaced and used the roster of was UL Monroe. So that's who I used last year. So I actually am somewhat familiar with this team and Aiden Armenta, and he's going to throw an interception right there. Going to get picked off. And Armenta, we actually found, was actually a pretty decent quarterback. He actually replaced whoever the starter was there before, but looks like he's having a tough go with things right here. We're able to get in front of that football, get the interception, and take over deep in Warhawk territory, and Luke Murphy just kind of stood in front of the football. I mean, that's just a poor decision right there from Armenta. Then we're going to come back here. Raquan Barber going to kind of split the safeties a little bit right there, get the touchdown. And we're going to take an early 7-0 lead here. And Jamison Tucker has just kind of come alive here the past few weeks. And that is just a good football, too, from Barber. So really simple stuff right there for us. And we kind of sniff out a screenplay right here, get it to 3rd and 15. So this is looking pretty good for us here, 3rd and 15. And now we're going to bring down Armenta, going to get a sack. So kind of a nightmarish first 2 drives for this Warhawks football team. And we're going to come back here. Next drive, going to throw a screenplay. And that was a good block right there. Just leveled that guy. And we're able to pick up the first down. So we come back here, 1st and 10. Going to look for kind of a similar look here. And I think I probably stepped back a little too far. Then we just make a poor decision, and that ball gets bounced in the air, and that is going to be an interception. And that was probably just a poor decision. Probably should have just threw that one away, but, you know, you got to risk it sometimes. You know what I mean? No risk it, no biscuit. Try coming back, getting the sack, and then they just come back next play, and they're going to take this one all the way to the house because our secondary, not very fast. You see some arguing there. I just think 2 guys took each other out of the play, but I don't think they would have been able to make the play even if they didn't kind of bump into each other. Brandon Buckholter, yeah, just had open field in front of him, and I don't think those guys will be able to catch him. So we come back here, 3rd and 3. Waiting, and that just took way too long right here for Jalen John to get out there on the route, and that would be it for Jalen John. He would get benched after that for Cameron Knox because that is just took so long to get out there into space. That's almost unacceptable. I'm not sure what happened on this play. They go read option, and then the guys just kind of stare at him. I did not run or pass commit on that play. They just kind of stared at him like, I don't know. They just didn't react to him running with the football. That's very annoying. That's something I'm really starting to notice here in College Football 26 where, I don't know. Just some of the stuff they do in this year's game I don't like, but I do like that. It's going to be Trey Brown. What can Brown do for you? It can bring down the quarterback. 4th and 13 coming up right here, and they're going to have to kick a field goal. And we had a shot to block it, but I just kind of, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that the blocks are predetermined, personally. It just feels really cheesy. I'm not a fan of that. So we're going to come back here. Kane Burrog. Going to try to get him underneath, and that's going to be a 2nd and 30, or not. He has 2 catches for 31 yards. A 2nd and 31 would be a terrible down and distance for us to have, honestly. But here's Cameron Knox. He's going to be our starting running back going forward. Just going to have to be. You know, we can't run the ball too well. One of their players gets hurt. That's fine. We're going to have Javian Simpkins also come in here. He's kind of a nice change of pace back for us, but Knox, I just feel, has a little more juice to him, in my opinion. And when we do run the football, slant, and that's going to be a simple touchdown right there. So we're able to retake the lead here and make it 14-10. So Jamison Tucker is just awesome. It's a shame this guy's a senior. I'm going to miss him. We do have some receivers in the pipeline in recruiting, so we got some older receivers. We got some other receivers that we are going to be losing, as that's just a missed throw by Armenta. Did not set his feet, and that definitely affected the accuracy there. So we're going to come back. Armenta throws this one. This time, feet set. Perfect throw. Picks up the first down, and it's Buckholter again, getting kind of running buck wild on our secondary right now, and Armenta now kind of getting into the groove of this game right now, and we're not able to get pressure, not able to really make anything happen, and now Bennett Galloway is making some runs on us. I remember that name because I remember him from Tech Stag's Dynasty last year, and Brandon Buckholter up over 100 yards receiving on 3 catches, and there's Bennett Galloway just making his way into the end zone. I personally don't think that was a touchdown, but it wasn't worth challenging because, like, if it wasn't a touchdown, he was down like at the very, like, it was like inches probably, truthfully, at the goal line. So might as well just let him have it and try to get the ball back, try to make something happen. Jamarian Wayne playing pretty nice for us as well. Here's Simpkins. We tried making a cut there, and that's just one of the issues with running this year. It feels like the tackles in between the tackles are just a little too suctiony for my liking. There's just way too many times where it's just like you pick up the first down, we're just getting sucked into a tackle. Guys are just kind of shedding their blocks really quickly. Here's Cameron Knox. Nice play right there. Picks up the first down. And no, I'm not hitting turbo behind the line of scrimmage. I'm acutely aware of that gameplay mechanic, as Barber's going to miss that throw. We're not going to settle for 3. We're going to come right back. We're going to give him the same exact look. This time, going to place it in between the defensive backs, and that is going to be another Jamison Tucker touchdown. And look at the moves right there on Tucker. So, 2nd and 4 here. A minute 15, minute 14 left. They still have a shot to make something happen, and yeah, that's going to happen. We just cannot cover at times. It's very annoying, so we're going to have to call a timeout because I didn't like the defensive look we were in. And they're going to come out here, break a tackle, and I tried hitting tackle earlier, then it just gave me an animation where my guy looked like he shit his pants. That's a big issue with this game. Is just there's just times where you're hitting buttons and you're just not getting an animation. This time, that was just a really great throw. And that's Godfrey. Remember, if you watched Tech Stag's Dynasty, Godfrey was a really important player for us. So, 3rd quarter now, looking, Barber just going to throw this one, and that is just a great play by Johnson right there. That is just awesome stuff by Johnson to pick up that first down. That's just an amazing play. Nothing more I can say. That was probably a poor decision, but sometimes you get bailed out. That's, the job of the receivers to do that sometimes. Bail out your quarterback when you can. And so 5 catches, 80 yards here for Tucker. Kind of a new play here. I'm trying to kind of get him outside, which is great for Barber because he actually has some pretty decent speed. And so he's going to get dragged out of bounds right there. So now Barber going to try another screen play here to Simpkins. I still sprinkle in screens when I can. Follow the blocks. Pick up the first down. 1st and goal. Then we'll come back. 2nd and goal. And we're going to hand this one to Cameron Knox. Makes a move. Gets it to 3rd and goal. 2 to go. We're going to try to just come right back. Give him the same exact look. See if we can get in the end zone. And we do. Cameron Knox with the touchdown. Knox rocks. He just does. He just has more juice. I don't know what it is. It's just, I feel more comfortable running with Cameron Knox. I just do. Despite the fact that his ratings are lower than Jalen Johns, I just feel like he's just a better player. I don't know. It is what it is. But here's Aiden Armenta, and there's nothing we can do here. Our secondary is just going to get cooked. I believe that's Godfrey again. When we it is what it is. This secondary just does not have the speed or the athletes to keep up with certain players. And if you have some athletes on the outside, you're probably going to cook our players right there. And yeah, that is just, I believe that was Mu Yang or whoever. He's benched. Let me make that abundantly clear. That guy is also benched. This is a game where we figured out, oh wait, this is who we really need to bench. But either way, here's Barber, able to just take out with the football. Gonna get hit a couple times. I tried sliding down. Again, this is just an issue with this year's game where it seems to be just kind of like delaying inputs, and nothing opened up right there. That was not very good. That was just not a good play by me. That's on me. Now 2nd and 15, going to be a man in motion. And, yeah, we're just trying some different stuff here, trying to see what can work. And going to come really close to picking up that first down. Going to be 3rd and inches. That should be a gimme, but we struggle with running the football in these short situations like that. It's, again, not hitting turbo. Just guys aren't just blocking. Like, the run blocking just isn't very good for this team, and I don't know if that's a ratings thing or if that's just a game thing. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I've had a 100-yard rushing game so far in college football 26 as we pick up the first down right there. David Godsey Jr. is injured, which is fine because he's a virtual player, so we'll root for virtual injuries. We're going to get a nice block right here. That dude just got planted, and that's going to allow Cameron Knox. It's just a walk-in touchdown right there. And the UL Monroe fan section is not happy. And, I wouldn't be either because that dude just got lit up right there, just on his ass. And, yeah. So 35-31 lead for us. Here's Bennett Galloway again making guys miss. And they are going to pick up the first down. So got to get them off the field here. 2nd and 6. We have not been able to do that since those first 2 drives. And this is a poor decision from Aiden Armenta, kind of back to what he was doing in those first 2 drives of the game. Indecisiveness, poor decisions, because that was a gimme right there. Threw that ball into space that was covered by our defensive back, and out comes the sword. The sword is out. And so 2nd and 8 here. Can try to get this ball away. Thankfully that wasn't picked off because we still need to convert here if we want to get them to start burning timeouts. And I don't like that right there. Kane Berg was on a route and then he decides to engage with someone as if he was blocking. That was not a block and release route. It was just a route. So I don't get that. We're going to go for it because I was so annoyed with that last play. Tucker making some guys miss a little bit right there. And we pick up the first down. Big 4th down conversion for us right there. And kind of a risky play, but, want to burn some more time off the clock. And if they were going to score, I'd rather them do it quickly as opposed to, them going the length of the field. Then we're going to throw some up to Tucker. And Tucker, this time we do get an animation for hitting triangle. And Jamison Tucker is going to put this one away right there. There is your dagger. Tucker jumps up, both feet down. That's a touchdown on Saturdays and Sundays. And so now the Warhawks still trying, still fighting. Armenta going to throw this one up, and that's going to get picked off by Pickney. Another issue I have with CFB 26 is they brought over the Madden thing where you're slower on like interception returns than the CPU, regardless of the player you're using. So that's something I'm really annoyed with. I don't know why that's been brought over, but it's been brought over. But we get the win, 42-31. Welcome back, everybody, to Coastal Carolina College Football 26 Dynasty. In this episode right here, we're gonna be taking on Appalachian State and a couple other teams. We have a big episode here. We're really going to get through this season. here today. And yeah, so if you enjoy this format, leave a like, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the series so far? Do you like this idea of me kind of doing these big play the moment episodes? Do you want everything to kind of stay single game? Do you want me to go through that slowly? Let me know. I kind of want to get an idea, but I just think for this, let us get through some seasons. I think if we have a couple big play the moment games, I think this will really help. And what would really help would be if my guys could tackle right there in that situation at the goal line. We give up a touchdown to App State right away, and this is probably a get-right game for App State in the sense of they got to get their season back on track. We get a fumble right here, so we are able to make a play. This video is going to be me kind of talking about some of my issues with play the moments, because I have some big issues here with play the moments, mostly because, for whatever reason, it really does feel like play the moments is play the defense. I've had this complaint now for multiple years. We get a fumble right there. I don't know if he actually fumbled, but we went into play the moments. We come back. We don't even get an offensive moment right there. We just get a come play defense. Your defense needs help. And then it's always like third and like whatever. It's very annoying if I'm being honest, but playing more defense here, you think after getting a fumble, they'd be like, all right, take advantage of the turnover moment or whatever. But we get a sack right there, able to play some good coverage there, kind of maybe confuse the AI quarterback, and we're going to force a field goal. Fantastic, right? We're going to force a field goal. Does he make it? You never know with these college kickers. They miss these weird kicks, but able to make this one. We're going to simulate through. We finally get an offensive moment, and Cameron Knox cuts it in. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. And we are on the board, and we cut into that lead. So that is very good right there. Teammates celebrating, loving it. And so we come back, more defensive moments. Another defensive moment, we just give up a touchdown. They trap us in, and then we give up a touchdown, which is a lot of fun, honestly. We come back here. No, again, finally get another offensive moment. And we're going to find Burrog, get the first down, first and goal. Going to try to run this football in to stay in this game. And a little bit of patience right there from Jalen John. And he is able to find a hole, get in, get the touchdown. And we are still in this game. Come back, more defense. Yay. Yay, more defense. 4th and 3, they're going to go for it. I'm always concerned with these situations right here, just because, you never know what they could do. They could run, or they could throw the football. I was expecting a run, personally, because it's like they would be expecting me to expect a pass. We come through, and we get another moment here to try to cut this lead down, stay in this game. We're just going to take a shot here deep, 3rd and 10, because we come in, and it's like, really, you give me 3rd down? That's very annoying, but we're going to end up dropping this one. They were able to score, but far too late for that. What if they get in the whole drive right there as opposed to coming on 3rd and 10? I don't get that. That's really annoying, but Roquan Barber, not a great day, 19 of 42, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. That was thrown in sim, not by me. Still can't run the football. Except in goal line situations, but Barber did have a rushing touchdown on the day. Then we got receiving, nothing really to write home about. Just not a good offensive day, and not a good defensive day either, really, for us. Blocking, did we give up sacks? We gave up some sacks. And then, did we get any sacks? We got 1, which is just not going to cut it, in my opinion. Definitely not against a team like App State. That's not very good anyways. The fact that we're not getting, sacks and stuff like that is concerning at the very least. So we're going to simulate. Got some recruiting news. We do land a 3-star defensive tackle. So that is a very positive thing for us to get a defensive tackle in here, because we need to get better. We don't get the safety, Willie Shelley, as he goes to FAU. So we're looking pretty good with this receiver, Darrell Lamb. And we have a defensive tackle who is a gap specialist. And a little bit more recruiting here. Looking through, just kind of adding some guys in here. Lots of red in here. And we need guards, but it's very tough because every time you kind of get like kind of decent on a guard, all of a sudden it just feels like you're in like a recruiting battle. That's another one of my complaints for College Football 26. I don't get these recruiting battle things. It just seems like it's a weird way to just make sure you don't get some players every now and then. I don't know. You just like get in like magical recruiting battles constantly. Very annoying. So yeah, just going through, trying to find some more corners that we want to add. And I'm sure what's going to annoy me is that a lot of these recruiting battles are going to go into the off-season period, which is very annoying. But we're going to send the house on this guy. Like I say, guy. We're going to send the house on Swain. I don't know if I didn't even catch his name, because who cares what his name is? And you know, looking here, should I take the JUCO guy off the board? Do we really? But we need to fill it anyways. We're in a position where we just need to fill these. And we're going to put 15 on him. The JUCO guy should just be happy with getting an offer. But we have 2 commits. Going to simulate some more here now, or simulate the bye week. Let's see if we get another recruit. And we do. And that is going to be Juan East, wide receiver, out of Lancaster, South Carolina. Get a receiver, a 3-star. Very good stuff right there. And looking good so far. So I want to say looking good so far. Looking all right so far for a 1.5-star program. We're not great. We're not doing awesome or good or anything like that. Another thing I did over the weekend, I'm recording this Monday morning on July 21st, 2025, is that I decided to play. The Milwaukee Tech series is over. I decided to just play through that, just to kind of see what things would look like if we went down a recruiter path. And recruiter's worthless this year, completely worthless thing. We're looking through these guys here. We have some sells on some of these guys. Hashim Okoro, just gonna take the L on that one. South Carolina's in on him, so we're gonna get off of him. We're gonna get off this running back. And we're going to try to put some points here on Stephen Chubb. And that should just be enough. That should just be enough to get a sell here. We're actually just going to go with the hard sell because he's in the top 5. And we need to make some progress on this. And, you know, Stephen, it's a 2-star. That's what we're having to do here to fill this roster a little bit. And yeah, and then Quan Mustard is a receiver athlete type, and let's see if we can get him. So there we go. Do that. Now we have to take on Marshall again. Another team very similar to us in terms of their ratings. You know, so I think that's why we're having so much success here. It's not like our schedule isn't chock full of like teams that are way better than us. It's not like we're in this great conference. We're in the Sun Belt. And yeah, it's just trying to compete here, and it's not too hard when we're playing all the games. When we let things kind of rely more on the sim, that's where the problems kind of run into. That's where we run into some issues. But taking on Marshall here, they have some nice uniforms. They were one of the teams that I considered running a dynasty with for College Football 26. And we ended up going here with Coastal Carolina, but we get a big play right here. It's Simpkins, Javian Simpkins, beats his man off the line, pause, and he's going to go in for a touchdown right there. Kind of showing, you know what, last week, maybe that was just an aberration, and maybe we're not as bad as we thought. So we come back here, we're still up here, simulating, getting some nice scoring on their own, which they weren't able to do last week, really. This time we come back, we get Jamison Tucker. We're going to be up 21-7 here, middle of the 3rd quarter. And we're just running rough shot right through Marshall. And those are some nice uniforms. I like the green. I like that shade of green. Almost version of like highlighter green. But 21-13 here. Marshall trying to make a comeback. Barber gonna miss the throw. Didn't even get an animation. I was hitting triangle. Now, I don't care if he doesn't catch the ball. if I'm hitting triangle, just give me a jump animation. Just humor me, I guess, is what I'm saying. But Barber, you're just going to take the check down to the tight end right there. And we are going to go up even more. That should just about put this thing away with under 3 minutes left to go in the game. And it is enough to put it away. And we are going to get a win here. 28-13, going to get back on track for the season. And Javian Simpkins with 2 touchdowns. We still can't run the ball. Now, I don't know if that's just, again, that might just be a thing with this year's game where 4 interceptions for Roquan Barber today. That is not very good. I didn't throw any of those, so I'm not claiming those. But yeah, just can't run the ball. I mean, it's just not something we can do. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Doesn't matter if we're playing a good team, bad team on our level. Doesn't matter. We're just not going to be able to run the football. So yeah, that's just not something that's going to happen. But a sack, we did get 2-3 turnovers ourselves. So that's a pretty good thing. So going to simulate again. Let's see, advance the week, I guess. See, do we get any more recruits? And we do. We're going to get Darrell Lamb, the wide receiver out of Columbia, South Carolina. If you're noticing a trend here, a lot of our recruits and commitments so far have been South Carolina. Probably guys that, Clemson and South Carolina are not going after. So, that's kind of what we have to feed off of here in this dynasty, at least right now. And Marvin Thorne has reached his top 5 schools, which means we could probably start selling if we know what the hell he wants. Jaleel Swain is his name. One of the annoying things is it just kind of feels like some of these guys just take way too long. Doesn't matter if you have Send the House on them, doesn't matter what. They just take way too goddamn long for their 3 checks to kind of reveal themselves. I don't know if that was like a change they made this year where they just decided to, you know what, let's extend that out a little bit. I personally find it very annoying. Some of these guys, we're just not good enough to sell on. We don't have anything we can sell. Zach Duarte, that is like probably just good enough to sell. We're going to put an extra 10 hours on him. He has visits, but we're going to hope that we're just good enough to withstand that, I suppose. But now we're going to take on Georgia State. It's going to be a home game for us. I was kind of hoping we were going to play at Georgia State because I believe they play at the old Braves Stadium, a baseball stadium that's been converted into a college football stadium. Very funny, honestly, when you think about it. But, that stadium wasn't that old when the Braves left it. But either way, we come back here, still the first quarter, looking. He's going to throw this one here to Wayne, and we're able to get in there. Touchdown. And there we go, taking an early lead here against Georgia State. And that was almost too easy. Just had to let him get across the coverage right there. And Barber just had to deliver a good football. But Jamarion Wayne with the touchdown. I keep thinking he's a running back just because of the number. I get in college that this is more normal, guys wearing those, or it's kind of just guys wear whatever numbers in college. I was hitting the tackle button there when I went by that guy. Again, one of the issues of this year's game seems to be just input delay. Either there's input delay or it's just ignoring your input for whatever reason. Don't understand that, but we're able to come back, make a play right there. Want to keep them out of the end zone, personally. Force 3. Turnover would be great, but I don't count on those with this squad at times. But we're getting here. Another good tackle. They fumble the football. We get on top of it. Now, did I do that? Was that some foreshadowing? Me with the turnover right there? I don't think so because I edited this video up on like Friday. So there's no way I remember that. But either way, we come back. We're down 14-7, third quarter. And what's going on here? We're going to find Burrag right here. And he's going to get into the middle of the field and pick up the first down and some. Barber only had that one just got him over 100 yards. I don't know what they've been doing in the sim. Just able to get that one off. And Burrag taking some big hits here. His wear and tear is starting to really add up here in this game. You see, he's yellow. So we're going to get Tucker on a whip route, and that should just be enough space for him to get the touchdown. There we go. And this game should be tied up 14-14 unless the AI completely misses the kick. But still battling here versus Georgia State. I wish I could read the record there below us. I know we've only lost 2 games, but just looking at that, look at this touchdown. Not the best football, but a really good route. And sometimes all you need is a good route. Fourth quarter, we're tied up here. Barber going to throw this comeback route, and we're able to pick that one up. Big play right there by Miega. I believe someone left the game with an injury, so Miega comes in and makes a really good play right there. Good catch. Wasn't the best thrown football, but able to pick it up. There's Johnson, our tight end. And at this point, I am actually just bleeding clock here. We're chew clocking at this point. Don't want to leave them too much time. I think we had X right there if I was just willing to throw it, but we are going to go for this here. I don't believe in going up 3 with like 5 minutes left, in my opinion. Especially at this point in the field, go for it. I mean, you're basically making them go the whole distance of the field, honestly. And clearly, as this game is only 14 points, they haven't been able to do that. We just get that one off, and Burrag goes in for the touchdown. Kind of make up for not hitting him last play. Get it to him right there on the drag. They decided to bring some pressure, and it almost got there, but it did not. And so we're able to go up 21-14 here midway through the fourth quarter. Now, they kind of do drive the length of the field, but there's only a minute left. They need a touchdown, and we're going to come in, get the sack, and secure the victory here. Kneel down, and we're going to leave this one winners, beating Georgia State 21-14. Had to earn that one. And Raquan Barber, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 50% completion. Again, that's like Sim. So still some work to do with him as a quarterback for sure. Still can't run the football. I think that's the story of this first season, is we can't run the ball. It might be the story of just the game in general. It's just like you're not going to be able to run the football this year. It was too cheesy last year, I guess, the dev team thought. So, whatever. I'm not whatever. I'm very annoyed about some of the things they've done to college football 26. It just kind of feels like Madden creep. If you ever heard of mission creep, Madden creep happened to college football 26. I don't know if they let people from the Madden team come work on this game. Get them off of it, I guess, is going to be my thought process there. Get them off of there. We're 7-2, by the way. I can't read it. I can't read it on the scoreboard, but hey, what's this? We get Zach Duarte. We get a commit. 3-star Will. Is very nice to get. It's my voice is not liking doing this sort of long video, but yeah, championship contender goes up. We're not going to be competing for a championship. We're not ranked, but some of these guys finally in their top 3. We're falling on Alonzo Kreider, so that's probably not going to happen, honestly. Just not worth doing that. And then Quan Mustard, and yeah. So we're going to spend some points here on Motivator. So D-line gets an off-season training boost. We're going to go with that. And we're going to have a lot of work to do with this team, honestly. So Quentin Owen, that should just be good enough for a hard sell. Kreider, I mean, just not going to happen. I mean, so yeah, I mean, App State and Charlotte are moving in on him. I mean, we had a good hard sell. It's just, maybe I guess the visits. We're going to keep him on there, I think. Maybe just to see if we can make something happen. This guy, we do have the ability to now sell. And that is going to be Marvin Thorne. You see South Alabama moving in on him. This guy, we also have the ability to sell. Thought about doing a visit, but I just don't have the hours. We only have 400 hours. Just not willing to burn those hours on sells. But, you know, I think next season we're going to start with a really small target list, maybe around 10 to 12. So we can mostly send the house, try to hurry up, get through there, you know, interest, figure those out, get the hard selling right away. That seems to be the better strat at smaller schools. Keep it, unless you're like trying to cheese the thing and get like 4 stars, probably before you should be getting 4 stars. I don't want to do that. But we added a right tackle to our board, 2 right tackles to our board, and yeah, contact family and friends, and then we are going to DM this player, and then another 5 on him, and put another 5 on Colton Gage. So just trying something here, honestly, just trying to get these guys. Then we got to take on Georgia Southern in this one, and they're not very good. They're 3-6, so this should be a win for us. They're kissing a bald-headed man statue. I'm sure someone will tell me what that statue is. I don't know a damn thing about Georgia Southern, so someone tell me what that bald man statue was, please. And please tell me it wasn't someone who did some horrific stuff in the South in like the Civil War era. Because yeah, that'd be really bad. But let's get back to something more fun, which is us playing this game. 3rd and 7, first quarter here, and we are gonna look, and we're gonna find Burrag. I don't know what his name is. I'm not sure how it's actually pronounced, but no one's correcting me, so I'm assuming I'm maybe saying it right. I don't know. Either way, Johnson comes up with the catch right there. Still not sure why they're engaging with guys like that when they're running routes. They're playing like they're hand fighting. That's very annoying. Barber going to move around here, and he's just going to keep it himself, and he goes in for the touchdown. Maybe had square right there, but I wasn't sure, and I wasn't going to throw an interception in the red zone because I hate turning the ball over in the red zone. Just terrible stuff right here. That's a risky throw right there to Jamison Tucker, but because it's Jamison Tucker, he was able to make it. So it doesn't really matter that much now, does it? Now, Kane Burrag right here. Look at him, wide open on the road. Not wide open, but he was open enough, able to break a tackle. He gets a touchdown right there. And there we go. We go up 14-0 over Georgia Southern. And yeah, just slipped the tackler and is able to just walk right into the end zone, and that is a touchdown. Coastal Carolina, comeback, second quarter still, or maybe it's just the second quarter. Either way, Kane Burrag right there. I'm going to hot route him up. That safety's going to come down, and Kane Burrag is going to just walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. His second of the game. That fan can't believe it. He's like, what? Why did they leave him wide open? I don't know, man. Go talk to your defensive coordinator. Figure it out. Either way, he's just wide open. Going to take that every single time. And especially when we notice that we come back, second quarter still, down here, looking. Going to throw it to Burrag again. His 3rd touchdown of the game. And he is bringing out the dance moves. He might be running out of touchdown celebrations. I think he's just trying anything at this point, because he's getting so many. But Georgia Southern, they're making a comeback here. They're within a score here of tying this thing up. So we went up big. Now we're almost going to blow this lead here a little bit here. So looking at the defense, got them spread out wide. 1st and 10, going to throw this one. Kane Burrag again, and Burrag just going to run into the end zone, and that might do it. A 4-touchdown game for Kane Burrag. I mean, that is absolutely sensational stuff right there. And again, not like any of these plays were particularly like wow or amazing. Just somehow everything just, the stars aligned for Kane Burrag to have maybe the best game of his college football career here. I mean, defense nowhere near him. And so we come back here, 35-28. Going to throw this one up here. Jamison Tucker, and Tucker is going to be gone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. That is going to do it. Georgia Southern was very stubborn there at the end. either way, we were able to get in there, beat them down, or at least stave off that comeback attempt. But 42-28, Raquan Barber, one of the best games of his career, 457 yards, 6 touchdowns on the day for him. But yeah, or 5 touchdowns, 1 rushing. So just a great day for him. 34, 55, 457 yards. Still can't run the football. Still can't run the football. Not like these backs are bad. It's just, I don't know if it's a blocking thing. I'm not sure, but either way, Kane Barag, 109 yards, 10 receptions, 4 touchdowns. Jamison Tucker, 10 receptions, 223 yards, and a touchdown. Just destroyed this team today. Or offensively, we did. Defensively, we gave up a lot, and 1 sack. I'm starting to notice that we are not getting a lot of sacks. Amari Notice with the 1 sack on the day, but Raquan Barber breaks a record, has set the single game passing yards record. We have unlocked Tactician, which we will probably go down the Tactician path when we get the points, because Recruiter sucks this year. Recruiter is terrible. Hey, we unlocked Recruiter. Recruiter's awful this year. I mean, just not even worth doing. Just hope one of your coaches has Recruiter and go with it through there. But we're gonna spend some points here. D-line start the 4th quarter hot and close games, so go with that. So we have D-line filled out, DB filled out, and offensive line filled out for our motivator things right there. All of them have tier 4, so that is very good right there. Eventually, we will unlock Tactician, but when we come back, we're 8-2. This will be a full game episode. This will be a 1-game episode when we come back for these. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Coastal Carolina Dynasty, and we're taking on South Carolina in this episode. This is kind of an important game for us, I believe. Want to stay ahead of these other teams in the Sun Belt, particularly James Madison. That's what we want to stay ahead of. They're really the only rival we have in the East. Not really. Marshall is still in there too, but if we want to get out of the East Division of the Sun Belt to go to that Sun Belt Conference Championship game, we're going to need a win here, and then a win versus James Madison should pretty much do it for us. A loss, we can afford a loss, but we'll just have to, finish up business versus James Madison in next week. Right now, Marshall, they have to take on App State and Georgia Southern, so they kind of have an easy road to things here to close things out. We got South Carolina here, and South Carolina, they come to this one 5-5 on the season. They haven't had a great year, but like I have said before and said last week, or not last week, the last episode, South Carolina is still way better than us. They just are. Despite their record not being great in the SEC, they play in the SEC. We play in the Sun Belt, so we really do have to kind of have our wits about ourselves as we go into this game. We got to play mistake-free football if we even want to have a shot to beat a team like this. Lenore Sellers, potentially a future, top 5 pick in the draft. He kind of has that sort of athletic potential and just potential as a player. And right away, you can just see kind of the difference. It's night and day between these two teams. And then this big play over the middle right there, Lenore Sellers just, picking us apart here. Now a handoff here. And again, we just can't get the angles on these guys. We just don't have the athletes. And we've run into that a little bit in the Sun Belt at times. We kind of run into a few teams who maybe kind of have our number. But right now, we're definitely feeling it here. This is like a middle-of-the-road SEC team kind of just taking it to us right now. We've had middle-of-the-road Sun Belt teams kind of take it to us. But able to sniff out that read option right there. Now they're going to come back 3rd and goal. This drive is taking a lot of time. Sellers going to find Nick Harbor right there. And there's a touchdown. South Carolina, just like that. They make it look easy. And for them, it probably was. But, yeah, not great for our defense. Would have loved to have been able to force a punt or at least to hold them to a field goal on that first drive. Did not happen. So we're going to have to come in here and try to get it right back. But I don't think we're going to be able to do it in just one play. So 2nd and 6 here. Man in motion. Quick throw out here to Kane Burrog. You saw them talk about this connection. It's had a great season for sure with us. And we pick up the first down right there. It's a shame he's a senior. So we're not going to have him next year. And so that's a little disappointing. So 2nd and 10. Going to throw this one up to Miega, and he's able to come down with the football right there. And Miega has a little bit of wear and tear he's dealing with on his foot. So now Barber going to find Jamarian Wayne, and that is going to be a touchdown. And we tie this thing up just like that. And we had a good drive ourselves, a little quicker than South Carolina, if I'm being honest. So able to move the ball on the South Carolina defense. They were pretty stout last season, but clearly things have not gone their way this year. So 2nd and 10 here. Sellers, he's just going to, I thought he was going to take off with it. Instead, he just dumps it off here down to his receiver. And when your receiver can do this, the 10-5 touchdown, South Carolina, that's what I'm talking about, where we have to keep these guys in front of us. And if we're not going to keep them in front of us, we're going to give up big plays like that. And Jared Brown takes this one all the way. Thought we had Sellers potentially maybe get a sack, get a tackle, TFO, something. You know, instead it's a touchdown for South Carolina and just burned our entire defense. Safety, a little late on the dive there. 2nd and 9 here. Barber going to throw this one up for Jamarian Wayne. And back and forth we go here with South Carolina. And we're going to pick up a big gain right there all the way down to the 7. Come back now, 3rd and goal at the 10. Running play goes backwards. Of course it does. And we're going to throw this one to Burrog, and he can't hold on to the football. 4th and goal. And we're going for it. Gotta go for it. I just feel like if we give the ball back to them, they're going to score, and we're going to be down. And so why not tie this game up? It's Jamarian Wayne again with a touchdown as my phone is going off crazy. About nothing good, too. That's the more annoying thing about my phone going off during these videos. It's not even going off about anything good. It's like divisional rankings. Like I don't care. Either way, here's Lenore Sellers. He doesn't care about our defense and what we want to do because he just ran right through all of our guys. But again, another big play here for South Carolina. This time, big hit on Nick Harbor. And I switched to just start level on these guys. If they're going to run free, when you get a shot on them, lay it into them. And you see it right there again. I kind of like that aspect is kind of in the game. I thought, you know what? If you're going to do this, you're going to feel it. It was kind of my thought process. And that running back felt that one. So you kind of see him. We're kind of laying some big hits on him. This is about the point in the game where I changed that strategy and decided to kind of go with this, where, so, you know what, lay these guys out. Make them pay for scoring. Make them pay for having these big plays. 3rd and goal here at the 1. Can we keep South Carolina out of it? They kind of pitch it back. Maybe you should have kept that one still at the 1. Actually, maybe that was a good decision to pitch it back because that would have been a loss. Instead, they kind of get back to the line there. And this time, can't do it. Turnover on downs. And again, this is why you do this if you're South Carolina, because you pretty much have us pinned here instead of going for the field goal. So, now we got to try to see if we can march the distance of the field here and try to get some points. We're going to throw this one here to Wayne. And really, what I should have been doing, and as I'm watching this back, I should have been taking more time off the clock. Just in case that we don't get it, and that's a draw. He just throws the ball down. So we leave them 31 seconds. That's more than enough time to have all of their timeouts. A couple plays here and there. Nick Harbor, no one can bring him down. Maybe I should have, maybe we should have wrapped him up that time. But you know what? It goes against the strategy. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's kind of what that was. Spins right out of that one. Nice hit right there, though. So still 11 seconds left. Still with one timeout. Trying to play some coverage here. And this time, This guy's going to pick up the first down. Gets out of bounds. 5 seconds left. So either way for them, they kind of end up where they would have been probably anyways, all things considered, with a field goal lead heading into the half. So come back here, 14-7, screenplay. Going to get this one to Javion Simpkins. Simpkins running free before he's not running free. Then he gets tackled. Let me come back here. We've been playing really smart football so far in this game, honestly. Even sticking with a team like this is pretty nice. So 2nd and inches here. Looking, not seeing anything. Going to take a shot here, and I click on. I hit the jump triangle catch button. We don't get an animation. So we throw an interception there because the game decided not to give me an animation. Yeah, I really appreciate. I don't get what that's about in this year's game. The not getting animation things. If you watch some streams of people who play this game online, that seems to be just a big problem with this game, where it's either you get mossed or you don't get an animation. That seems to be the game right now. And trying to defend these things at times can be very difficult, but we're going to have to do that here. Sellers throws this one, and just big pickup right there, already at the 5 in a few plays. 2nd and goal, handoff here, running back, dancing around, spinning around. Defender then drags him into the end zone. Walk away, 11. I don't get that. You just let me throw him into the end zone. Like, thanks for that. So Barber going to keep the football here. Open field run. Spins. Well, not spins. Tries to juke a guy. And picks up a big play right there. We're down 10 here. Trying to fight and stay in this game. Barber going to throw this one over the middle. And Tucker takes a shot, but able to come up with the football. So now 2nd and 9. Barber throws this one. Going to find Burrag. Picks up the first down. Just barely. And we are now driving again. The shot to cut into this lead. Throw this football. That's going to get intercepted. That's just a bad read by me. I tried forcing one right there and did not need to do that. So this time we're going to go all out with a blitz. We're going to predict a run. We get it. And we are going to get a safety right there. And so big play for us right there. One of the few times where run committing worked. I felt the game was on the line with that. I was like, either they're going to run this football and we're going to try to get a safety, or we are going to give a big touchdown. So Barber with the run does not slide down, and we fumble it away. So that is no good right there. That's back-to-back drives with big turnover implications. Well, actual turnovers. We did make up for the interception, though, and there's a fumble right there. I was so shocked by the fumble. I jumped up, was really excited, accidentally hit the timeout button. I have no clue if that was actually a fumble. Looks like he tried reaching out and the ball just kind of popped out. So I accidentally burned a timeout. And so we come back here. I decided to run with the football again with Barber. I also decided not to slide this time. We're able to get on top of the football ourselves. And 1st and 10 here. Screenplay. This one to Cameron Knox. Knox going to try to cut it back inside. Knox going to drag a man into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. And we are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up. Absolutely sensational stuff right here from Cameron Knox. And Knox would just cut it back inside, drags a man inside the end zone. So here we are, 2-point conversion, big play here. Barber buying some time, going to find Wright, and Wright makes it all right here. Ties this thing up. 24-24. 4th quarter now. Sellers throws this one. Wide open man underneath, and just going to lay a big hit on that guy. Seemed a little slow to get up. They've been eating these hits all game long. I really want to win this game. You want to win every game, but you really want to win this one when you're playing a team like this, and just give up a deep bomb over the top like that. 3rd and 11. And when you're playing a team when you're in such a talent deficit, it feels like you can do everything right, and then the talent just kind of wins out like that. The Norris Sellers takes this one to the house, 31-24. Barber gonna throw this one underneath to Claiborne, and Claiborne picks up the first down. We don't see too much of Claiborne, but I believe at this point in the game, Knox was a little banged up, so we had to get another look in there at running back at someone else, and that happened to be Claiborne. So now going to run this play, throw this one to him, and this ain't going to be a big gain. It's going to be a couple. 2nd and 7. Claiborne, he's going to have to come out of the game actually himself. He's a little banged up from that. So we run another screen play, and really doesn't work. 3rd and 6 here. So we're going to come back here, send a man in motion. Looking, throws this one, and that was not a smart decision. But we're going to have to go for it. Just going to have to go for it. Game on the line right here. Can't get an audible. It's way too loud in here for these guys to hear. And then we're going to throw this one. Kind of a tight window throw, but Tucker just able to get the first down right there. So 281 yards on the day so far for Barber. And Barber, 3rd and 1. And we're going to throw this one up, and that's going to get knocked down at the line. So another 4th and 1 for us. Going to have to convert this one. I mean, just the amount of just got to have it plays so far in this drive, and really in this game, has just kind of been incredible. But we're able to get it right there, pick up the first down. And I believe that was either a timeout, injury timeout, something. But a minute 57 left here. Driving now. Barber going to throw this one up to Miega. Miega gets the touchdown. And this thing is going to be tied up 31-31. I thought about going for 2 here to take the lead. But, just, decided to just kick the PAT, tie this thing up, and give the ball back to South Carolina. Let them kind of do whatever they wanted to do. So Sellers throws this one, and just like that, again, we're going to get burned deep for just a one-play touchdown. Not as fun when it's happening to you. Not much we could do right there. Bennett just outruns our entire defense again, secondary. Just, can't keep up with some of these guys. And that's not something that's going to get better next year. So we have to come back here, try to go back down, score again, do what we've been doing all day. Jamison Tucker, big play right there. So now Barber, shotgun formation, going to get chased out the pocket, going to keep it himself. Barber going to try to get out of bounds, then going to get tackled. And he would come up with a hip injury. He would have to leave the game. So it's going to be MJ Morris in at quarterback. Decided to put the junior in. 75 overall. Let him kind of maybe try to win this game for us. I don't know. But Morris going to throw this one. Tucker had it out of his hands. That would have retied this thing up. Now we run a screenplay, and that should have just been thrown in the dirt. So 4th and 12. Going to have to call a timeout. Barber back in the game now. We have a man right there, and then we're going to get hit as we throw the football. Can't get it off. Game was on the line, and I don't know what this is. Nothing more I can say here than we lose the game because our right tackle doesn't know his blocking assignment. There's no way, 4th and 12, gotta have it, you're not going to know who to block. That's just a simple thing. It's a blitz. That linebacker's blitzing, you let the guard pick him up, you at least put a hand on the edge rusher. So we're going to end up dropping this one, 38-31. We had a real shot in this one. A couple unlucky turnovers, balls bounce a few different ways, but, hey, we punched above our weight in this game, took on, mid-tier SEC team. That's kind of the silver lining for us right now, is that we're able to kind of take on that team. 2 interceptions for Barber, had the fumble as well, so 3 turnovers on the day. I don't think those amounted to too many points, if I'm being honest. So, rushing just wasn't something we could do. Honestly, again, just something that we're just not able to do. Sound like a broken record talking about that. But phone goes off again. 2 touchdowns for Marion Wayne, Cameron Knox, Miega touchdown, Tucker almost had a couple big plays in this one, just couldn't hold on to the football. So disappointing. Thought we really had a shot to win that game, and Instead, it ends in a loss for us. So, gonna have to get back, dust ourselves off, and go take on James Madison to close out the seasons. But Racone Barber has set a record for us, for Coastal Carolina. A single season record for the most passing touchdowns also goes to Racone Barber. So he's had a really good season so far. Disappointing loss. We do get a commit, though, and it's going to be Walt Kroll from South Carolina as well. So, again, keeping our class kind of in state. Very good. But also nice to get a 3-star recruit on the board. I believe the majority of our class is going to be 3 stars. Not too many 2 stars. I think I spread our board a little too wide. I think we cast too wide of a net to start the season. But we're able to, I think, close it out here in this regular season with a decent class. Gonna lose that defensive tackle. We're in good position with him for a while. Just, you know, I'm not too upset about losing out on a 2-star defensive tackle. We'll find someone in the portal. But yeah, still in a good spot with a couple of these other 3 stars as well. A 3-star tackle we're making progress on. And this is a guy who had no one really looking at him. And so we were able to get him. So when we come back, we're going to close out this first season. It's going to be James Madison. Let's see if we can get a victory here in this one. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time. Peace. Welcome back, everybody, to Coastal Carolina Dynasty. It is our regular season finale. Taking on James Madison in this game. This is a pretty big game for us. In the Sun Belt, we are currently second. You see James Madison there in 4th. But remember, the Sun Belt has divisions. So on the west side of things, Southern Mississippi 9-2. They pretty much already clinched their spot in the Sun Belt Championship game. The last spot, kind of in a 3-way race. We have beaten Marshall already, so if we end up with the same record as Marshall on the season, we get the tiebreaker. But head-to-head with James Madison, this game will decide which team will go to that Sun Belt Championship game. Currently, we are slated to play in the New Mexico Bowl, but you see Southern Mississippi is projected to play in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, which I assume that's where the Sun Belt winner will end up. So there's a very good chance that we will be ending our season. If we win this game and the Sun Belt Championship game, we will be ending our season at home, but potentially as the away team, possibly depending on who we play. So either way, let's get into it. Leave a like on this video if you have been enjoying the series. Likes help the channel, helps get these videos out to more people. And taking on James Madison, taking on the Dukes. And this could be one of our toughest tests potentially in the Sun Belt all year. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to really know that, but I mean, we did lose to App State, but here we are. Jamison Tucker picking up the first down right there. Now we're going to come back again. Barber, a little bit of wear and tear already in this game. We're going to find Tucker again, picks up the first down, and we are in business here. 3rd and 10 though, looking. Going to find Barag here. He is potentially going to win some awards just because of the season he has had. He's had, I believe almost 1,000 yards receiving. You can see Jamarion Wayne picking up the first down. So we're just kind of slicing through this Duke's defense like a hot knife through butter. Then we even get the run game going a little bit here. I've made some adjustments to the sliders with the running game. I've just made the decision to pick up the first down there to just raise the CPU run block, or raise our run blocking slider up. Just had to do it. 2nd and 2 coming up here for that nice run. Then we're going to hand this one off to Jalen John, and we're going to pick up the touchdown right there. Had to do, it was either that or lowering the CPU tackling, and the tackling ratings, the tackling slider affects so many other things besides just straight tackling, as I really don't want to touch that slider. So 3rd and 5 here, James Madison, and their quarterback's just going to take off. Big first down pickup right there as their DB falls down, but not a great, play right there. 3rd and 5 here all day, finds the hole in the zone, and was able to pick up the first down. So we come back 1st and 10. James Madison just going to throw this one up here, and that's going to be a touchdown. Dukes get on the board. And JMU strikes right back at the end of this first quarter. Looks like our corner just got beat there, and, you know, I can't even say like that'll get better next year because we've done such a poor job recruiting corners. It felt like corners have been really hard to recruit. We just have not been able to do that with our corners. So we're not like there's help coming in, but either way we come right back, and that's going to get intercepted. That ball just hung in the air a little too long, and that's going to be an interception. That sets up James Madison with some great field position already at our 27. And they're going to throw this one underneath, pick up the first down right there, and they are knocking on the door here. 1st and 10. James Madison going to hand this one off, spins. I like that we got to him. I don't like that we dragged him forward for a yard. I don't appreciate that. Put him on his ass, put him backwards, don't drag him forward. Either way, they kind of come back, get another 2 yards right there on that little play right there. I don't think that was expected, and I don't know what happened right there. It looks like a guy came back towards the quarterback a little too soon. So 4th and 7, out comes the field goal unit. This should be a chip shot, and it should have been, but it's not. We know what college kickers do. They miss, and so this game stays tied 7-7, so we can get back into business here. Here's a nice run here for Jalen John, finding some space here. Big hit there at the end. So our running backs are getting beat up here in this game. Simpkins was getting beat up, so you didn't see much of him. Cameron Knox got beat up. Big play right here for Jamison Tucker, picking up the first down. Just old reliable for us. He's been reliable for us the entire season. So 3rd and 7 here. Going to throw this one underneath the Jalen John, and we're going to pick up 6 on that play. We're going to go for this here. Going to speed things up. 4th and 1. They're going to bring some pressure. We go for a blitz. Or we don't go for a blitz. They go for a blitz. We go for a screenplay, and we get the touchdown. Just like that. Able to break this tie. Take a 14-7 lead right there. Screenplay worked to perfection. They brought too many guys. Able to get just enough blocking, and looks like whoever that is, just absolutely laid out that. I don't know if that's a defensive back or a linebacker because it's college and they wear weird numbers. But either way, here comes James Madison right back. And we don't really get that contained, and they pick up not just the first down, but a bunch of yards afterwards. Here they are well past midfield at this point. Going to be a read option on this play. And James Madison is going to get the touchdown. Can't get to the quarterback in enough time, and this game is tied back up here. Feels like James Madison is well aware of what's on the line in this game. 3rd quarter now. Going to be a play action look, and we're going to bring down the quarterback. Setting up a 3rd and 14 right there. Nice play right there. Get some pressure on the quarterback. Put him down. Quarterback under pressure again, and they're going to be going backwards here. 4 yards, losing 4 on that play. So we come back here, 2nd and 10. Going to throw this one. And we're going to find Jamarian Wayne, pick up the first down right there. It's looking pretty good here. Now another screen play. We get just enough blockers out here. John still in this game, but that wear and tear is really starting to pound up on him. And you see here, this is Demarion Claiborne, I believe his name is. He is our Damian Claiborne. He is our 4th string running back. And because of the wear and tear, we had to throw him in this game. And he picks up a nice chunk play right there. And maybe we should have been using Claiborne a little bit more at running back, because he is really just picking up chunks of yards here like we haven't seen all season long. So we're going to come back here, 1st and goal. Claiborne in for the touchdown. So just like that, we're able to bring in our 4th string running back. And we are able to just pick up a ton of yardage right there. So, and just chunks of it too. So, it's still tough to run. So I feel like the changes I made to that slider are pretty good, and we're probably going to keep them. This is just an insane play. We get the sack. Ball comes out. Whitaker able to have the presence of mind to come through, pick it up, and he runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina, and we take a 14-point lead here. And everything has just gone wrong for James Madison here since tying this ball game up. And strip sack just kind of fell out of his hand. Maybe the ball's wet. I don't know. No one was screaming ball on the sideline because none of the linemen recognized that ball was on the ground. Safety comes in, picks it up, takes it to the house, and we're up 28-14. But James Madison, they're going to keep fighting here. They get a nice run right there. Some good blocking. Able to get their kind of offensive momentum back going again. Now they're going to call a screenplay here. They get some okay blocking. Going to be a 3rd and 6 now. And empty set, shotgun formation. Quarterback throws this one on the run, and that's in and out of the hands of a couple receivers, it looks like. 4th and 6. I'm a little shocked about going for the field goal. This one is good, though, but figured you'd go for go for it on 4th down, try to get 6. But instead, they just take the 3. We're going to come back here. Claiborne picks up the 1st down on that screenplay right there. And at this point, I'm thinking, let's make this the last drive of the game. Claiborne, though, he's starting to get a little banged up himself. So we actually have to bring in a player, a red-shirted freshman running back. We're going to have to bring in Edwards. 2nd and 10 are here. We're going to pick up, just a little simple, take the check down. It's important to keep the clock moving right here. So we're going to come back 3rd and 4. I'm going to throw this one here to Wayne, and that's going to be a 1st down. Now they got to start spending timeouts here to stop the clock. So Edwards, the true freshman, technically has a red shirt, but we can still bring him in. He'll keep his red shirt if he, doesn't. I don't think there's any way for him to play more than 4 games at this point. But either way, we pick up the 1st down right there. 2nd and goal. James Madison out of timeouts. Edwards going to drive forward onto a James Madison player and score his 1st collegiate touchdown. Wasn't even expected to play this year, but we extend the lead 35-17. Go for the SWAT here. Instead, we just get a breakup animation. If they get an injury timeout, that's going to keep the clock moving, I believe. They come back, 1st and goal, shotgun formation. Quarterback just going to keep it himself, get into the end zone, touchdown, James Madison. And that is going to make it 24-35. They're going to go for the onside kick, of course, but they're not able to get it. We're able to pick that one up. And that would be the end of it. Kneel down, and we are moving on to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game after beating James Madison 35-24 on the season. We have been very good in this Sun Belt. We have had a lot of success, and we are taking on Southern Miss like I thought we would. But yeah, going to the Sun Belt Championship game, we are going to fire our defensive coordinator. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to see if we can find a defensive coordinator that has elite recruiter. I personally will not be going down the recruiter path, buying or purchasing that ability, as it's a really bad ability. I've decided to kind of run that ability in an offline dynasty that I played myself, and it's just really not worth it. So we're going to try to find someone who already has elite recruiter, has a lot of those abilities unlocked, and that's what we're going to go with when we get the ability to hire. When we come back, we're going to be taking on Southern Mississippi, so be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to College Football 26, Coastal Carolina Dynasty. It is the Sun Belt Championship game here. We are taking on Southern Mississippi. Oh, I almost threw up thinking about that. Taking on Southern, thinking about going to Mississippi. Ugh. But we take a look at this team here, and they look pretty good. Braylon Braxton is their starting quarterback. We look through here. Their best running back seems to be Pittman, but then another one of their running backs here, Matt Jones, is going to be out with a torn labrum, so we won't have to see him in this game. I guess before I start going through this even more, this episode, or these last 2 games here, are going to be play the moments, trying to get through the end of this season as quick as possible, but still kind of giving you guys gameplay, things like that, get into the off season. What I'm planning on doing is cutting up every single video from this first season, putting it into one super video, uploading that as well. So So if you're someone who's maybe missed bits and pieces of the season throughout me uploading it, there'll be a big long video for you to watch. Should be like at least, I don't know, 2 hours. But either way, it's the Sunbelt Championship game. We are on the road here. Be sure to leave a like on this video as it helps the channel. It helps push this video and others out to more people. And yeah, I would really appreciate it if you would do that. So please leave a like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notifications, all that other good stuff if you've been enjoying the content. But let's get into this game. We have not played Southern Miss yet this season. This is our first time seeing them. And our first moment here is first drive of the game, and we are really backed up. So I'm assuming that we forced a punt here, and we're able to, and they pinned us back pretty far. So nice run right there. Second three, give us some breathing room, and then that is going nowhere right there. That is not a very good play. So we throw this one right here underneath the Gilly, and we're able to pick up the first down. Now we come back, 2nd and 10. Throwing this one, Gilly again. It's just kind of getting open non-stop. 3rd and 3 now. Throws this one, and that looked like a completion, but then I guess he dropped the ball. This is Sunbelt Championship game. Let's go for it. You know what I mean? And then we just get this pass off to Jamison Tucker. Just barely getting that one off. We were, as Barber got just clobbered on that play. Then we come back to Burrog, able to pick up the first down right there. So we're taking up some time here, finding some running lanes too. Offense kind of cooking right now, honestly. Simpkins gets thrown off his route completely. That's something that really does need to be fixed in these games. 2nd and 1 run coming here, first quarter, winding down. We get some good blocks up there, and Cameron Knox. Too fast, too strong, touchdown, Cameron Knox, and we take an early 7-0 lead as we close out this first quarter. So we come back, closing out now the second quarter is Mississippi State, and that is almost complete. That would have been a first down, so we end up forcing them to kick a field goal to close out the half. So kind of a low-scoring affair here for Sunbelt Championship game. Now midway through the third quarter, going to be a keeper here by Braxton. And Braxton, boy, we should have had him behind. Looks like he just kind of gained a few yards right there. So 2nd goal at the 3. Running back, we're going to force him. They're going to call that at the 3 still. I think that would have been a loss of 1, honestly. But either way, too many guys on the ground there. Then we get the running back, and then someone throws him into the end zone. So touchdown, Southern Mississippi. We're now trailing here. We come all the way back, 4th quarter, until we get back in the game. 4th and 10. I really appreciate this moment. Either way, we're going to throw it up. Jamison Tucker finds the seam right there from the slot, and Jamison Tucker, touchdown. Just like that, we're able to retake the lead here from Southern Mississippi. 14-13, and Jamison Tucker has been the GOAT of this season for us. Anytime we needed a really big play, I felt like he was always there. 14-3, get another drive, hold on to the lead, try not to give them the ball back. Here's Simpkins with a nice run right there. They're calling timeouts now, so 2nd and 1, Simpkins in the game, running back. Handoff right here, we just barely get the first down and able to convert that one. So we're still here. Now it's Cameron Knox in the game. 1st and 10. Going to be an outside run. We cut it back inside, pick up some yardage. At this point, chewing as much clock as we possibly can. And we get a nice block right there. Knox, a little shifty movement in between the tackles, picks up another first down. So we are really just drove down the field on them. We were able to hold on for victory, 14-13, as we defeat Southern Mississippi, and we're going to claim the Sun Belt Championship here. And it's so important to win these conference championships because it helps with your program prestige and tradition and all that other good stuff. It helps with that. It'll help with recruits next season. So that is just a really big positive to get that win. And able to cap off a really good season, honestly. Only a blemish I think we had conference-wise was against App State. Might be missing a game there, but Jamison Tucker sets a season receiving yards record. We'll take a look at those records later. Not in this video, maybe another video, but we are Sun Belt champions, so add that to the trophy room of this dynasty, as we were able to do that. And we get a recruit, Eric Tootin, out of Maryland, 3-star linebacker. Jaleel Swain was a corner that we added late. That's really tough because we're going to have some bad corner depth next year with guys graduating and probably just transferring out. That's not particularly what we needed. Still looking good here on Moss and Colton Gage, but Jeff Moss is a 2-star, so yeah, not great. But Jamison Tucker, Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week. It's so weird that you get that notification even though it's like you're the only teams playing. Cade Klubnik was the Heisman Trophy winner. I believe he probably is one of the favorites to win the Heisman this year in real life. And then Kane Burrog wins the John Mackey Award. 70 receptions, 893 yards, 8 touchdowns on the season. That's a well-deserved award for him. It's a shame he's a senior. I wish he was a junior. And, you know, but we're going to be taking on Navy. Like I thought if we won this game, well, not Navy, but I did think if we won this game, we would be playing in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, and that's the bowl game we are going to be in. And looking through some of these these coaches, trying to find one that we like. And DJ Smith, defensive coordinator for App State. So this actually could kind of be a really interesting move on my part, taking away an elite recruiter from a conference rival. I decided to go look through the rest of these guys, but none of them had elite recruiter. DJ Smith had elite recruiter. Tried looking through the rest of these guys. Some of them just had motivator. None of them had any of these abilities. Like, none of them had master motivator or anything like that. So at this point, DJ Smith, I think, was the clear-cut favorite for this job, and we're gonna try to hire him. Attempt to hire him. I'm gonna send him an offer, see if he wants to. So it's a lateral move, but hey, maybe he looks at Coastal Carolina as the come up, right? Maybe we're kind of we're the come up team right now, and maybe that's how he views it. But taking on Navy at home, but we're not the home team. We're technically the away team, but this is technically a neutral site game, but it's a hell of a neutral site game. I mean, we're playing on our own field in our own stadium, and we have to pretend that this is a neutral site game. I do wonder if it's a situation where Coastal would have to use the visitors' locker rooms, and the Navy would be in the home team locker rooms. I do wonder about that, but either way, taking on Navy, they're a ranked team, so this is an opportunity to try to get our first ever ranked win as the head coach of this program. And so, again, another play of the moments. We come in here, 3rd and 9. They are sending the heat here, and Tucker able to just jump up, get it, almost spins out that linebacker right there. But we are cooking right away here early. Gonna find Simpkins on the screenplay. Simpkins almost able to outrun the defender right there. Just gets stopped short of that. Then we're gonna come back again. Handoff here. Cameron Knox, and Cameron Knox gets the score. Little underrated storyline. Cameron Knox is a guy who could end up transferring. I believe almost all of our running backs could end up transferring. I believe it might be a play style issue. But Cameron Knox, if this is his last game with us having him, hey, playing pretty well so far. So come back here, another moment, 3rd and 5. Gonna throw this one to Kane Burrog. This is his final game. It is kind of cool. Him and Jamison Tucker get to close out their collegiate careers, really technically at home. But Cameron Knox here, gonna get the edge here, gonna drag a defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. We're gonna take a 14-point lead here over Navy in the first quarter. And just going through the moments here, 3rd down alert. Take control of the drive, 3rd and 8 here, 2nd quarter. And we're going to find Tucker. And I maybe waited a little too long there, but I wanted to make sure he would have been a little safer there from those safeties. So we just are able to fit that in. It's 14-7. Going to try to get another score here before this one's out. Jayla John, I believe he is a senior as well. So this is probably his final game with us. If not, he's also considering transferring because we didn't run the ball very well this season. But either way, Knox going to drive into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina. And we are going to re-extend this lead back out to 14, 21-7. And we are just really beating down this Navy team here. Third quarter, they catch back up a little bit. Another third down alert, 21-14. Looking here, shotgun formation. Gonna throw this one here. Gonna find Gilly. That's gonna be 4th and 1. We're gonna override here. We're not gonna wait for a moment. I try coming with hard rules for this, but I feel like there's no point in doing that. It's a vibes thing. We're gonna go 4th and 1 here. Try to pick this up with Cameron Knox. Look at that block right there by the lineman. Just absolutely flattened whoever that was. So really nice stuff here. Going to go back to Tucker. 4th and 10 coming up here. 49-yard field goal. Are we going to go for this one? No. You know me. We're going to go for it. We're going to find a play here. Try to make something happen here. This has become one of my favorite plays. I think it's just because it's Tucker in the slot, and the speed he has in the slot really gives a lot of teams an issue because they don't have fast enough safety or corners right there. And we're going to get a touchdown on 4th and 10. Decided to go for it. Call our own shot. And Jamison Tucker doing what he's done all season. That is just abuse defenses out of the slot. 28-14. We take a 14-point lead. 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Tucker just split the defense right there, and just a really well-placed ball there by Barber. And we are jumping ahead here to the fourth quarter, 2nd and 9. Just need to be safe here with the football, and I throw in a really bad interception. And can Kane run him down? No, he cannot. And so we throw a pick 6 here with time winding down. They go for 2. They tie this game up. So now we have to go back down the field and try to close this game out. What a moment this would be if we could pull this off. All year long, we haven't really had a game this tight, this late. We've either been blown out or kind of put guys away, but this time we're tied up here. I'd rather not go to overtime, and Gilly almost made a great play. Instead, drops the football. So 3rd and 6. Barber on the run, going to throw this one to Gilly, and Gilly, we go right back to him. And this time he's able to hold on to the football. So we come back again, 1st and 10. Shotgun formation, going to throw this one underneath to Gilly, trying to work our way down the field somewhat slowly. I don't want to score and then let Navy have the ball back. I want to take as much time off this clock as I possibly can, give them the least amount of time to answer back. So we're trying to play the clock management game here, going for a screen here, and I maybe should have just threw this in the dirt because we end up losing 6 yards on the play. Yeah, when those screens get blown up, I'm just kind of never sure what the hell to do. So 2nd and 16, almost under a minute here, going to throw this one up for Tucker. Let him make a play, and Tucker comes down with it. This is pre-patch, I will say that, so I have no clue if he would come down this post-patch. But Jamison Tucker, what a play here. That ball was severely, overthrown, underthrown, off target, whatever. But Tucker, able to make an adjustment, come back to the football, and catch it himself. So at this point, I'm not necessarily thinking of scoring a touchdown. I'm thinking of what plays can we run, keep this clock moving, let them burn a timeout, and really how can I center this football to give us just the easiest shot here. Going to be another handoff here. Try to stay right in the middle there. Let the clock run all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, timeout. Out comes the field goal unit here. Are we going to make it? Yes, we do. Chip shot field goal goes in. And we're going to win the Myrtle Beach Bowl here in year 1 of Coastal Carolina Dynasty in pretty tight fashion. I almost threw that game away but we are able to come out on top here in this one and get the W. Raquan Barber, 26 of 47, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. I only threw 1 interception. Cameron Knox here, 14 carries, 28 yards, 3 touchdowns. That should tell you everything about our running game this year and probably why these guys are transferring out. I mean, I don't know what to do. We just can't really run the football. It doesn't matter. You know, we did find something a little bit there when I changed the slider, but even then, it still was really tough to come by 2 or 3 yards. Jamison Tucker in his final game, 5 receptions, 154 yards. Kane Burrag, 4 receptions, 48 yards in his final game. And a lot of senior receiving talent on this team. And yeah, no sacks, no interceptions on the day for our defense. A couple pass deflections, but no turnovers. Kind of been the story of the season, if I'm being honest, at times. Just kind of felt like we couldn't really create a lot of turnover opportunities. But Kane Burrag sets the single season record for Coastal Carolina. And I'm going to come back again here. We are the Myrtle Beach Bowl winners. And very happy with that. Win a bowl game. We end our season winning, 11 games? So that's a great first season. And we do have some points to spend here, and we're going to spend them. We are going to unlock Tactician. That's the next path we are going to go down, as I think that's a good thing. And we get DJ Smith. He has accepted our offer to become our defensive coordinator. So we steal the elite recruiter away from App State, which I think is absolutely diabolical. So we get our new defensive coordinator. Has elite recruiter. We can't exactly see what's in there just yet in this stage because it still shows our previous defensive coordinator. So take a look here. Who won the national championship? It was Texas. And they beat Oklahoma in the Natty. So that's like ultimate bragging rights for Texas fans. I doubt this actually happens. But here are our season stats. Raquan Barber, 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, 15 interceptions on the season. And yeah, pretty good. I think that's a great season, honestly. And then, well, you see a lot of our guys wanting to transfer. It's either championship contender or brand exposure. There's not much we can do with that, honestly. So we might only have Damian Claiborne back as our running back. But Cameron Knox probably gone. Jalen John probably gone. And then you see Jamison Tucker, senior. He would transfer if he wasn't a senior. But Kane Burrag, so close again to 1,000 receiving yards. Jamarian Wayne, 477 yards, 3 touchdowns. Simpkins was, 412 yards as a running back. Honestly, he had a very good season. But yeah, 14 touchdowns for Jamison Tucker. Blocking. Who gave up the most sacks? It was Joseph Hansen and Thomas Johnson. And I feel like these aren't accurate in terms of sacks given up, but we'll accept it. And TFLs 22, 20, and 11 here for the guys who you expect. And a lot of them are also our leading sack getters. Our leading sack getter was Ibrahim Dewara at 9.5. And yeah, not too many guys even kind of came close. I mean, 8 for Henry Young, but 5 interceptions on the season for Jeffrey Ngakwe, and then 2 for Murphy, 2 for Pickney, and then 1 for Gedden, 1 for Gordon on there as well. In terms of touchdowns, Lionel Whitaker had all of our defensive touchdowns as we only had 2 on the season. So here we go. We got players leaving. We can see if we can try to keep any of these guys. We have 7 persuasions. So let's try it on Cameron Knox. He has not been persuaded. He will be leaving. Simpkins will not be sticking around. Nick Del Grande has not been persuaded. That's a big loss on the line. So let's see. That's fine. Dominic Rijos has not been persuaded. Julius Tate has been persuaded. And then taking a look around here, trying to figure out who else we want to try to keep. MJ Morris, maybe we want to try. I don't know. Larry Garfield. Larry Garfield. He decides to stay. Always want to keep quarterbacks around. You never know when someone might go down. We got one last persuasion left. We're going to try this guy, and he has not been persuaded. So we're only able to keep 2 guys out of the 7 that we were able to try to keep. That's tough. You see the rest of these guys graduating. And yeah, it's a big loss on this team. A lot of these guys were starters. Sucks about Jamison Tucker. I'm really disappointed about that. Welcome to the off season of Coastal Carolina Dynasty here. We finished the season 11-3, won the Sun Belt, won the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We had a pretty good season on the field. Now off the field, recruiting could have gone better, I think. I cast too wide of a net to start the season. I think I really should have limited ourselves to not as many recruits, I would say. But there is a positive in here. We did pick up DJ Smith, an elite recruiter here, and we don't care about those first abilities. We care about these ones right here for linebacker, for defensive tackle. Hopefully these go up eventually. Hopefully he keeps spending in elite recruiter. And yeah, because, you know, elite recruiter is way better than just base recruiter this year. I think they went a little too far in terms of nerfing recruiter for college football 26. And but we do have an offensive coordinator who is a master motivator as well. So I think that's going to allow me to focus a little bit more on tactician for this upcoming season. But we still have some recruiting battles that we need to win here, and Steven Chubb is one of them. Edge rusher 2-star. It's not the most important recruiting battle, I would say, but you just want to get a guy in the building. I think that's more just have that depth in case we need the depth. So we're going to also schedule a visit here, proximity to home. And then Quan Mustard, athlete, tight end. We are a little bit behind here, but we are going to try to jump ahead. We are going to try to steal this recruit away from App State. Just like we stole their defensive coordinator who had elite recruiter, we're going to steal this. We're going to try to steal this tight end from them as well. Just taking everything from App State as a bit of a payback for beating us earlier in year 1. I didn't go through doing this thinking that's but it seems it just turned out that way. So we're going to try to get Jeff Moss here. We're going to speed through this right here. All of this right here. We're going to speed right through it. You know, if this was like a live stream, I'm sure this would be interesting to look at. But since this isn't a live stream, it's not as interesting to look at. So we are going through here. Going to find some more players that we need to get onto our board. There's a lot of run on there. We have to find some running backs. I think that's really key for us right now. Still want to find some more defensive tackles. You know me. I like trying to build up a really good defensive line. It's, you know, I feel like in these EA football games at times, I feel like edge rushers are kind of worthless. But I do feel like in college football 26, it does feel like your edge rushers do matter, the quality of them. So we're trying to find some running backs here and just trying to find a couple that I think we have a good shot at getting. Trying to see, like, you know, are there too many big schools going after some guys? And if they are, Javian Simpkins in there. It's a guy that we could attempt to bring back, but just looking through, not seeing anything I particularly like at the moment, but we do get some on the board. Gonna go back here, focus on some of these guys, and we're just gonna get 50. We're gonna get these offers in, and then get a couple hours on these guys in here, so we can start trying to sell them as quick as possible. You know, it sucks when we have this much that stuff that we got to fill in, but it is what it is. It's one of the pitfalls of being a smaller program. We don't have as many hours. So let's get to the next stage here of the offseason. We get Carl Hilleman, linebacker, 3-star, and we get Steven Chubb as well, 2-star edge rusher. Bring him in, and we're looking pretty good here. So we're going to simulate to the next phase of that as well. That's just not as interesting to show, I feel like. So we do get the 2-star corner, Jeff Moss, and that's all we get. This other corner we are locked out on. This kind of feels like every really good corner that I wanted, we just ended up getting locked out on. So gonna offer more of these guys, trying to make sure we stay within that top 8, and hopefully that we can jump up. We got a couple running backs here as well. Hunter Smith, a transfer, 2 quarterbacks, you know, pure runners. Seeing if we can get these guys as well. Throw some hours on that quarterback. Just seeing what we can make happen. And we get Eric Molden, right tackle, 3-star. Very good. Like to see that. That quarterback, we did not make his top 8. A little disappointing there, but it's fine. As we are going through here. And Quan Mustard, we're in a recruiting battle with App State, but we are in first place with him. So at this point, we're just going through all of these guys, still offering scholarships on guys who don't have offers. Now, this doesn't work as good if you're not already in their top 8. So you basically have to count on, you jumping all the way up to get these guys. And if I had more hours, I would maybe, like, you know, throw 25, 30 hours on all of these guys. But at this point, we're just kind of throwing 10 on these guys who, you know, we're not in their top 8. We are going to throw 25 on Roundtree there, trying to get him. And these other guys, we're going to throw 10 on him. These guys aren't as heavily recruited, so the hope is that we can just jump up, get into that kind of first place with them, and kind of get those commitments. That's kind of how I view playing the transfer portal personally. But yeah, you see Davalier. Now, this is something I found out watching a Bengal stream, and Bordeaux mentioned it, that if a player who has playing time as their deal breaker doesn't, like, that it activates, basically that means is the other player you have on the board is a higher rated player than them. So when you have that pop up, just get rid of the guy who activates the playing time deal breaker, because they're the worst player. So that's a tip from Bordeaux. I don't think he's mentioned it in a video yet, but he did mention it in a Bengal live stream I was watching a few days ago. So fun fact for anyone out there. I don't know if that's even been reported out here, but that's how we're going to leave it. We got 34, 35 targets. Let's see how we end our recruiting class. Let's see what we end up getting. And what do we got here? We got Stephen Hill and Green, defensive tackle, 3-star. We got Quan Mustard, the tight end. We steal him from App State. Avery Burkhart, we needed a punter. Didn't want to make the mistake Bordeaux made in FIU Dynasty. We get another 3-star, Antone Austin. We get another 3-star, and JJ Twankwool. Grayson Howard we get. We get Hunter Smith. So things are going pretty good for us, I would say. Getting some tackles. We lost tackles. We get Sam Pendleton. We get a left guard. We get another edge player here. And some more linebackers. So we end up getting 14 guys here in this last bit of the transfer portal. So I think we end up with around 16 players in the transfer portal. We had about 12-ish, I think, in our normal recruiting. But we get a bunch of guys here in the transfer portal. I mean, not all these guys are transfers. Some of these guys are still high school, JUCO guys. Missed out on Ryan Nolan, Tavares Crane, and Landon Norris we miss out on. Or Landon Morris, excuse me. But we do get some other transfers here. And looking through here, trying to see, does anyone have elite dev traits? I don't believe anyone does. I think it's mostly normal and impact, if I'm 100%, if I'm correct here. Looking through here, normal, star. We do got a star here, and that's a high school recruit here in Eric Molden, so that's not bad to get. We got a star here, Stephen Hill and Green, but again, the transfer. That guy had normal, so it's fine we didn't get him. And yeah, the other guys we didn't get were either normal or, you know, whatever. So it's like, and these guys didn't commit anywhere. I'm not sure what happens to them. Seeing how we're not even on their board or anything. So I don't know what happens to those guys. and JJ Twinkle gets a normal dev as well. So, yeah, not sure what happens to these guys. None of them, no one offered to them, so I don't know. But we ended up with a class of 25, and we end up with 23 3 stars, 2 2 stars. Best class in the Sun Belt by a close margin. Marshall right behind us, Louisiana right behind us, Troy. And then it's kind of a bit of a drop off from there. Some of these teams not able to get as many 3 stars as we were able to get. So the class actually worked out okay. Ibrahim Dewara gets upgraded to Impact. And I believe Wyatt Gedden might be getting upgraded too. Yes, he does. He also gets Impact. And then I also believe one other player is going to get an upgrade here, and that is going to be Murphy. It's either Luke or Leo Murphy. He also goes up a dev trade as well. So trading results here. I did spend a lot of time doing this in this recording, but I'm going to be honest with you, it took about an hour to just go through all these players. So Raquan Barber, he has a bunch of points to spend, and we're going to spend them on accuracy. We're going to get his accuracy up here. That's what we want to do. And some nice upgrades to the accuracy. And then we're going to spend there to try to get that awareness rating up. So he goes all the way up to an 83 overall. So that is pretty nice. We got some quarterbacks that we have to upgrade here. And, you know, in case these guys get hurt, you never know. But Larry Garfield, he has points to spend as well. 23 of them. We're going to go with power for him. He goes up to an 87 throw power. Then we're going to spend the rest here on accuracy. And that's it. So apart from that, that's what I'm going to go through. If you want to really stop and look through here and see these guys as they get upgraded, you can go ahead and do that. But the rest of these guys, so got some good upgrades here. You're going to see our team overall really shoot up. As we upgrade these players. We was at like a 67 overall. And then you're going to see it really jump when we get done doing all of these upgrades and when we load in to the season. But I just say, I like this. I know some people don't like this. To me, the game is tilted in a way, these recruits, when you get them, it's tilted for you to manually upgrade them. Like it's how these recruits come in, it's in a way for you so you can manually upgrade them and make them good. Right? That's why guys aren't coming in with such high speed ratings, because you can upgrade their speed yourself. So I think that's kind of why I think some people have complained about that. But Grayson Howard here, 82 overall linebacker, I believe. And looking through here, we're going to go with some pass coverage on him, and he ends up getting just a really big upgrade here. He basically ends up as just about our best player on the roster. So, yeah, Grayson Howard goes up to an 86 overall. And we got some more upgrades here. Jermichael Pritchard. He is just some random strong safety on our roster. And this is just how big, I think, how important it is for you to go through and do these upgrades yourself, as opposed to maybe just letting the CPU do it. We take this guy who was a 60-something overall, and we are able to upgrade him all the way to an 80 overall, and all we focused on was zone coverage and hands. And he immediately becomes the best safety on our roster. So we have some points to spend here on Tactician. I believe there was a glitch visually where it didn't show all the points I actually had. So we are going to focus on our linemen for when we play the games. We can actually block and things like that. So we get that one all squared away and all upgraded right there. So blocking, all of them, all the tiers figured out right there. So, yeah. That's looking pretty good. These other abilities, I really do think they might need to look into getting rid of these. But let's get into some conference realignment. This is what college football has kind of been turned into all of a sudden. And we are going to get Texas State out of here, because Texas State, in real life, is moving to the Pac-2, which will now become the Pack 3 for now, but we still got a bunch of teams we got to move in there. But that leaves us with an empty slot here in the Sun Belt. Now, this spot in real life is going to be filled by Louisiana Tech, I believe, and that is who we got in there. So, yeah. So we're going through here now, the Pac-12. Let's get Boise State in there. Let's get the Colorado State Rams in there. Got a couple other programs we need to get in there. That is going to be Fresno State is going to be in here. So still have a lot of teams we got to add. Real life, and we're going off the beaten path here. I'm going to kind of do what I would like to see happen if I could control everything in college sports, how I would like to see things done. Also going to add in the San Diego State Aztecs to this Pac-12. It's currently the Pac-8. So there's still some more teams we got to add, and that is going to be Cal. Kicking Cal back to the Pac. Go back. That's where you belong. You don't belong in the ACC, in my opinion. And we are also going to add Stanford back to the Pac-12. So I think that's where these programs should be. But there's still 2 more spots if we want to get it to a full 12. So who are we going to add in here? Well, that is going to be a team from the American going to the Mountain West. I'm kind of holding you here. Who are going to be the other teams joining the Pac-12? Well, I thought long and hard about this. Do I want to take any more teams from the Mountain West? I decided against it. We also had to add a team to the Mountain West as well, and that is actually going to be UTEP, who will be moving to the Mountain West as well. So who are the teams being added to the Pac-12? Well, we're going to take from the Big 12, and that is going to be BYU, and the last team being put in the Pac-12 is also going to come from the Big 12, and that is going to be Utah. So moving Utah State, BYU, all these teams to the Pac-12. Now we have a real, actual Pac-12. It's a real legitimate Pac-12. They're going to have a conference championship game. This should work. We shouldn't be running into any issues with conference realignment this year in college football 26 like we did in college football 25. But I think that's a new Pac-12. I think that would be a good Pac-12. The Mountain West looks weird. Thought about moving another team, and then we did, and that ended up being Memphis to the Big 12. I think in this scenario, the Big 12 would be looking to add Memphis at that point. It's like, all right, well, we just lost, Utah and BYU, so all right, Memphis, give us that $200 million. So got Louisiana Tech in the Sun Belt now, and there's some spots for us to move, honestly, if we want to. Do we want to move to the American? Is that a lateral move for us? I don't know. Right? Do we want to move to the ACC? The ACC just kind of got rated. They might take a team like Coastal Carolina now. There's rumors that North Carolina might be looking to jump to the SEC. Well, they might need another team in there if that happens, and that could be us. So, thought about moving Navy, but I decided to just keep everything here. I think we did enough mayhem and destruction to the state of college football with the moves that we decided to make right there. So, there we go. And now we got to set up our schedule here. And I am going to kind of revamp the schedule just a little bit. But we do got Liberty on here. They are a rival. So Liberty is going to stay on the schedule. We're going to end the season playing Georgia State. That's going to be a home game for us. But we're going to end up taking on Missouri State. We're going to take on FCS West. And we're going to take on Liberty. And then we're going to take on Virginia Tech. That's going to be a away game for us. And then we go into conference play to close out the season. So that's our schedule. I think it looks pretty good, honestly. All things considered, it's a pretty good schedule. But our overall went up to a 75 in just one season. So things are looking pretty good here. So I want to thank you guys for watching this one. And I appreciate all of you for watching this first season of Coastal Carolina Dynasty. If you've enjoyed this video, or if you've missed any, hit right here in the middle of the screen, because there should be a little button for you to hit in the middle to watch the playlist. You can watch Season 1 all the way over again from the jump if you missed anything. And I'll see you guys in the next one for Season 2. Peace.